Hello everyone, how you doing? All good, I hope. Hi ID. Hi RD. And QP, thank you so much for the heart and roses. How you doing? Okay, let's get this all right. Hi Frosty, how you doing? It's gonna give it a wee little test. Have you done anything for me to call you that? Hi Phoenix. Not working. Should work. Yep, that is working now. But apparently my phone's not. Why? There we go. Yep, that looks all good. And that's centered. Lovely. Yeah, same for me. Work, work, work. Oh, fucking hell. So I was on our text-based system today. You log in. Typically, this is typically, you have about 15 to 20 cases already available from the night. People just like texting to like stuff like that. Guess how many I had at the beginning of the day? Fucking 60. Normally you do about 140 cases in the day. I did about 200 today. Because there were just so many. I have no idea why I was so busy or why that happened. I don't know what to do today. We could watch some stuff. We could also play some games. I don't know what to play. I don't know what to play, I don't know what to do. So I've just started out just chatting, so like I can change it later. I don't know what to play, some Minecraft or something. I need to make it TikTok safe, basically. You know what I did get, what's it called? Recommended. Hello, how you doing? This video. Yeah? I could do some reaction stuff to this. I have no idea who this is. And I have no idea who they're talking about. They're not people that I've watched. So. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. We'll have another reaction stream today. Just because I said I have done it. I need to find a game to play. That I already have. Thank you, how you doing? I need to find a game to play. That I already have. As well as like just do something else. I'm thinking, hi Lilith. I'm thinking the next game I'm gonna play is gonna be a Plague Tale, the second one. I already have Minecraft and I've already played Minecraft. I'm a little bit not off Minecraft, like the obsession, you know, like the 2-week obsession, kinda dying now. But not in a way of like I'm gonna stop playing Minecraft altogether. In another like month, the obsession's gonna come back. It's fine. Basically, Minecraft comes in 3 phases. I think the only people who don't have them in phases are like the big YouTubers and stuff, because it's basically their job. But yeah, I think I'm gonna play the Referendum, Plague Tale. I have no idea what it is, sorry. You never retire from Minecraft, you just take a long break. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play a Plague Tale. And then I think I'm gonna play Beyond Two Souls, because I like that game, so I might as well. Plus, I love Elliot Page, so like, and they are amazing. Then I think I'm gonna play Absolve, but I think, because I was gonna play that during the subathon, but I've changed my mind. I think what I'm going to do instead is play that during October, because it's a horror game. But those are the 3 games that I have actual plans to play. Could go wrong. See, I also want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, but I feel like I'm going to have the same issue I have with most open world games at the moment, where it's too much. Like, I want the story, but it's too much. I think that's all the game I have. In terms of story games. Oh, I've just saw that the new expansion, The Beast, for Dying Light 2's out. I need to play Dying Light 2. I still need to play the Life is Strange double exposure. Yeah, basically. But the thing is, where is it? The Witcher is a good open world game because I didn't have to do too much shit that I didn't want to do. I could go to the story and I could do the story. Because I'm not the gamer to like 100% stuff. I'm the gamer that wants the story. I could try Forspoken again because I'm pretty sure I played a little bit of that, but like I never finished it. I mean, I finished it on Discord actually. I I basically sat there on Discord streaming it, and whoever wanted to join could join. I could try the Prince of Persia games again because I never actually finished this one. I need to buy Little Nightmares 2, by the way. I need to remember that. I am. That's cool. What was I gonna say? I am tempted to like play this game for you. It is legit the worst fucking game I've ever played. I am tempted to play it just for the memes. Hi Goldman, how you doing? Oh yeah, Phoenix, did you see the on the Discord, by the way? What I posted? Yeah. We're actually gonna be watching some stuff. I'm just talking about games I'm gonna play in the future. But Dark is the worst game I've ever played. I haven't actually finished this game, I should. Let me just get up and go, I'll show you. You wanted the feral puppy queen? You've got her. I'm gonna use this for my reacts. This is going to be used for my react image. I just realized as well though, because of the way I look at the character. No, is this correct? Is this correct? Is this correct? Yeah, this is correct. For a second there, I thought I switched the eyes by mistake. Yeah, no, I'm using this for my React image. So that's the issue with having two different color eyes. You don't know which way is up and down. I feel like I play Amnesia during October for you guys. I'd hate it, but I feel like. Okay. Okay, let's watch some stuff. We're gonna watch this. VTuber friendship goes up in flames. Again, I have no idea who this person is though. I've just found them. Because it was recommended to me. I'm assuming it's like Mugen's videos. Yeah. Okay, and off we go. Yeah? Yeah, you can.
Wait, what? 93 pages. This is gonna be a longer video, isn't it? Yeah, I'm on it. Fuck me. Alright, this doc is long as shit. I'm talking
Oh, is that his model?
pages. Ordora Bunny and Radia, two VTubers who appear to be very close, like years back close. Even part of a group called Project Stim.
That's a sick model.
It seems that Adora was kind of bugging the fuck out and low-key beating the brakes off of Radia. But before we jump to conclusions, let's get straight to the doc. Also, why the fuck is it black and white?
Who's who?
Radia claims in her document that Adora was doing a whole slander campaign against her, claiming Radia is manipulative, greedy, content-rotted, and a compulsive liar. Doc's personal info to multiple niggas.
Actually, my character's based off Lapland from Arknight, actually.
That was filled with over-exaggerated, imagined, damn, Shadi was just making shit up, and falsified info that she spread around after removing anything.
Yeah, basically it's that, which with a darker hair color.
Made up an intervention to basically jump Radia. Radia to take a longer break.
Okay, favorite anime. Favorite anime. It's hard to choose. If you want, like, I do it in different phases. So, like, at the moment, my favorite anime, I think, is probably Frieren. But, like, my favorite anime that got me into anime is Death Note. The one I enjoyed the most. It's hard to think about that. Let me have a look at my anime list. Because the issue is I don't know names. It's like names are like that. They go away. Enjoyed the most. So comedy related, the one I enjoyed the most is probably Azuma Manga Daioh. That is the one I enjoyed the most comedy based. The one I enjoyed the most out of like relationship based, I'm in love with the villainess. The one I just enjoyed, like flat out, no shame enjoyed, gushing over magical girls. And then the one I enjoyed based off like fantasy is like Frieren and stuff. But legit, I fucking love gushing over magical girls. I can't wait for season 2. I know it makes me sound like such a deranged fuck. I watched it with my mate.
Not being her friend. Ended up kicking Radia out of Project Stim, successfully isolated Radia from her group of friends
go ahead.
So she could learn her lesson on some like evil.
I haven't watched Devil May Cry. I've been meaning to watch Devil May Cry.
And that Radia was money.
I had the games actually.
Also digging up info on Radia.
It's on my list. It is. Me and my mate have a channel on YouTube where we watch anime. It's on the list to watch, but there's just so many on the list. There's so many anime on the list.
Yeah, nah, I gotta go. Dora would even lie on
certain
events based on who she was.
Why? Do I sound sick?
Based on what she thought would make the person the most
sympathetic. Do I sound sick?
But why? So basically, nobody got the same story from her. And then when niggas started to dig deeper, she would just play victim if she didn't have leverage to like control or threaten that particular person.
Is it because I'm sniffing? It's because I'm sniffing. I've just got bad sinuses and like I'm trying to clear them.
And even lead to her apologizing for shit she didn't even do in hopes to keep some friendships. She even had to be hospitalized, and also
okay, so it's probably just because you haven't heard me before. You think I do,
which made her lose
which sounds great.
financial aid, led her to not be able to stream as much, even in an attempt on her own life. Yeah, some heavy shit we got here. It's not a joke. It's not cool that this shit happened at all. Let's go a bit deeper, but before that, I'm not a news channel.
Thank you. Well, hopefully people will start watching me eventually.
So you guys can create an opinion for yourselves and then comment what it is.
His model is fucking sick though. Look at that.
Alright, cool. All this shit started in Anime North. Radiant had a great time chopping it up with the homies. Shit seemed dandy. Little did she know, Adora was plotting. She got the other members of Project STEM, Pomato and Funari, and they began compiling a list of just
I don't know any of these
or did that bothered them.
Ah, okay. I hate that type of shit. Do you mean like the VTuber model? So I use it off my computer.
I want everyone to know, while Adora did get Pomato and Funari to do this, they had no clue what extent Adora's intentions were, or at least where Adora was gonna take this.
I play games as well, yeah. We're just doing reaction stuff for a minute, because I have no idea how else to play. Meeting. Okay, wait, so who is the... So she is the main villain in this, correct? I've been listening correctly, because I'm partly listening, partly not. She is the main villain, so she the main villain. And the bunny girl is fine.
Yeah. Present. Yeah. Right, off the fucking band-aid. We all need to sit down and have a very serious talk.
You sound like a bitch.
That's when shit went into brutal interrogation mode. Rather than a calm discussion about concerns, they kind of like...
What was this recording?
Deadass went through the list line by line and was kind of aggressive, in my opinion. A little harsh. I also want to mention that Adora went around and already started talking about what they were going to do to niggas.
I haven't tried it also, no.
And a lot of niggas said, but why?
I mean, the last game I played was Chain Together with my mate.
But they said, fuck it.
I'll probably play a bit of Minecraft.
Anyway,
I'm looking at some other games to play.
This point, obviously, feels like shit, because to her, everything was cool. Shadi is now close to crying in a gym parking lot. Not exactly the place you want to be. She was being accused of being a compulsive liar, lacking gratitude, and for having...
So Radiant... She is Radiant then? I don't know the people in this. I've never seen these VTubers.
And that's when they basically suggested for her to take a break. Radiant complies, but Adora didn't really like how short the break was. So the messages we are seeing are in May 27th. Radia originally planned to take a small...
Oh, no. So Radia's not the good one then. Radia's the one worth sticking behind.
Break from what I'm guessing from stream activities. Adora the same day on May 27th went back and basically
Adora's the one we don't like.
I think June 1st is a long enough break, and that this is a make or break in their friendship. Says that they love Radia but don't feel like she can trust her anymore, and that needs to be rebuilt. And that she wants to try to rebuild it because of all the
video I got recommended. VTuber friendship goes up in flames. I'm going in it blind and I have no idea the fuck they are.
You already know. Shit sounds, I don't know, manipulative as fuck.
Wait, this screenshot has been altered to remove personal information of Adora's and reference to an uninvited third party. There. Okay, what does the screenshot say? I will say, I do not think June 1st is long enough break. This is genuinely to make or break the situation in our friendship rate. And I do genuinely love you, but I'm hurt and I don't feel like I can fully trust you anymore. That needs to be rebuilt, and I want to rebuild it with you so badly because of all the good times had together. You need to recenter and change your approach and connection with streams. Thanks. I want to see you become better in this stuff so I can trust you again fully. What happened to start this? We're 5 minutes in. I have no idea what the hell happened. I have no idea who the main players are, but I have no idea who the main issue is at this point in time.
Radia explains that she can't take any other time off work.
Okay. I love you too. And I'm not, and I'm there. Everest tries to read. Fucking hell. I love you too, and I'm not. I know. I'm dyslexic, by the way. I get a pass on reading. I love you too, and I've not been doing amazing since. Honestly, there was a lot of decade-long purpose lost and fear gained afterwards. Huh? Hi, Cyan, how you doing? Thank you so much for the heart hands. While I cannot take the entire month off work, that is just not feasible regardless of how much OT I have unless I do disability leave, which I reserve for lengthy surgeries. Oh, okay. My overall schedule is light. I'm going to keep what I have scheduled because at least it's scheduled social time that breaks up my week. But I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be overbooking myself or present 5+ days a week on stream. My own or others for a long time.
Unless she takes like disability leave, which she saves only for her surgeries. So I'm guessing she was taking like a small break from everything, like sit at home and don't do shit type of break.
Unfortunately, I'm working the weekends.
She will keep her schedule since it's pretty light. Nothing like 5 days a week, so she doesn't overbook herself. Adora then tries to push Radia into taking a longer break from streaming, specifically telling her to detach from.
Okay, more reading. You really need to detach from streaming, Radiant. Nice. Yeah. Sucks. Anyway. You really need to detach from streaming Radium. I say this out of a place of love and concern. Wee bit manipulative. I'll give you more time to process, but I'm going to be firm on this. I don't trust you right now. I don't feel what happened that she doesn't trust her? I don't know what happened that she doesn't trust her. If he's told us and I've just blanked, I'm sorry, but like I don't know what she's done that she doesn't trust her right now. I don't feel comfortable having you on my stream, doing content with you, and you are my friend, and I love you. I love you for you. I want the good I see in you to be the part that's there, but it's hard when I keep feeling lied to. Please stop lying to me. Please recenter, meditate, and refocus. You need it. Burnout is a real killer. Hello, how you doing? And if you come back quickly, it's over. Oh, that is... Okay, real quick question. If we're watching a video called BT Friendships is over, it's weird. I don't fully know the story yet. I'm pausing it a bit too much, I think, but I want to read this. But that sentence there. And if you come back quickly, it's over. She's a streamer basically full time. That's like asking her to cut her income. That seems a bit much. A wee bit much? Can you imagine that your friend coming to you and basically saying, this is me like speculating at this point, this could be so far out of the thing. Can you imagine your friend coming to you like, you need to stop doing your job for a while, otherwise our friendship's over. And you can't come back to your job too quickly, otherwise it's done. And all I can think is like, I need to fucking eat. I go live on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays. I am thinking of going live different on more days now. For real, you tell them off and you just say, fuck it, we're not friends. But again, I don't know what happened to like set this off yet.
Streaming, and that she is saying this out of a place of love. I'm gonna be real with you. If a nigga says it's from a place of love, it usually isn't from a place of love, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Adora goes on
if you have to say it, you probably
trust Radiant, and that she feels lied to, and she doesn't feel comfortable having her on stream. Oh my god, she's beating it into her skull, which is the easy fix. Okay, maybe just, I don't know, not stream with her, which is what she did. Radiant's like, word, I'll give y'all space then.
1 day later.
In the morning, Adora's like, Yo, turn your phone off. She
What?
wanted Radia to basically...
What? I'm gonna say this now. I think you genuinely need to full social media cleanse right now and detox. No Discord, not even your own community. Fuck that. Fuck that. I mean, I can understand if I'd done something really bad and someone has said to me, I think you need to stop streaming for a little bit because it's warping you a little bit. I'll be like, sure. I kind of get it. If it's bad enough anyway. I would say, sure, whatever, I can do it. But if they told me I can't even talk to my community, I'd be like, fuck you very much. Go away. We do have a Discord server, yes. Let me... Let me just, give me a second. Let me link it for you. Wait, it's in streaming stuff, isn't it? No, it's in admin stuff. What do you mean, why are you just hearing about this now? I talk about the Discord server a lot. I need to make that so it's right there. Link. There you guys go, there's the link to the Discord. But yeah, no, if people told me I couldn't talk to my people on my server, or just talk to people in general, I'd be like, yeah, no. No. It does not work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Basically not be on social media at all, not even talk to her own community, saying that it will enable bad behavior and that she has an unhealthy connection to it.
I don't know.
Adora then says she wants the old Radia back, not the one worrying about numbers and money, the life of Pablo type shit. Right now, Adora is that what
she did? Was she a little bit too
numbers and money focused type of person?
Yeah.
Radia at this point is like, I don't think I got it in me, twin. Radia hits her up again saying, just to remind you so you can focus on stuff and for the sake of our friendship, I don't have you down for any collabs. Radia again is like, bro, I'm just gonna dip if I'm gonna just be sitting by myself out of nowhere for
yeah, that seems...
She knows she isn't a good person.
Damn, nigga.
To which Adora
Wait,
is
what?
like,
I don't know what to believe. I'm certainly not a good person. I've never been under the impression that I am in any way a particularly good person. I'm gonna say this now, I do actually kind of think I'm a good person. Like, genuinely, I don't think I'm a bad person. I think I'm pretty good. Hi, Phil. How are you doing? Thank you. You've known me for like 5 minutes, but thank you. Nobody is a good person. We are all people, which is a fair thing to say, but... A big thing for me was realizing I need to be a person who does good things. Okay. Is she like 50? If someone said that to me, I'd be like, okay, you're like 50 years old and you already have like your life figured out.
well, nobody is a good person. We're all people. Radia is just confused on
Well, the Discord link's open to everyone.
Radia doesn't know what's good enough.
Plus, you have to
punishment
react to
a
the
song
rules, so.
because what has to be done on her end is a bit vague. Adora replies saying it's not about being punished, even though Gotti literally says if you come back to streaming, I'm no longer your friend.
Yeah, that's a legit punishment.
Sounds like a fucking punishment to me. I don't know about y'all.
I love his model, by the way.
She says she doesn't want any more lies and for her to be grateful for good things.
What
in her
did
life.
she lie about?
If all this was just communicated better and brought up in a constructive way, this wouldn't even be an issue. What I just said encompasses the whole situation at hand.
Like, legit, what did they lie about?
Radia is then like,
wait a minute.
how the fuck am I supposed to prove myself when I don't know when I can come back?
The middle of nowhere, nigga. Look at this shit.
And I'm forced to being by myself.
What more do you want from me?
And since Radia and
Okay,
Adora
so,
are near each other physically,
yeah, so you just have to
say
react to the
Tatum
rules and then you get
Finale,
full
how
access
the
to the
fuck
Discord.
Are they supposed to see like progress? Shadi says she is overwhelmed and is scared of just losing everything as of right now. Adora then says she won't respond.
So under
because
welcome,
the
it'll be
message
rules,
before
and then you
this,
just
Adora
react
said
to
that
them.
she wouldn't
React to the
respond
smiley
any
face.
messages, even though she responded saying she won't
Then that
respond.
should give you a role, and then that should give you all access to the
It's an
Discord.
interesting chain of thought. I don't know.
2 days later.
They seem to like reconcile a little bit. Adora said that she won't let things pile up and then unleash them all on Radia at once. Radia then says she was never upset with Adora and was happy that Adora got help and didn't have any malice towards Fen. For context, Radia was upset that Fenari was helping Adora get over something, which we'll touch on later, but just a little bit of context there. We'll get to that. And she says she was only upset because the person she needed by her the most when she was suffering wasn't really around. And also states she wished the intervention wasn't her getting jumped. Adora says she understands it, but there was unfortunately not really an easy way to do it.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. You talk to her. Like, just one-on-one, just talk.
And said it was needed for the sake of healing to happen.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Radia was then submitted to the hospital 4 days after. Her heart was like on 10. Like resting heart rate was 115.
Fuck, she had to go to the
talking
hospital?
her partner, Digital Vagrant, during this time.
That's the plan. I don't want to go. But I sat an entire dinner at least knowing I would at least. Fuck, that's not good. Yeah, dude, if you have an issue with your heart already, go the fuck to the hospital.
Radia,
Also,
while her heart rate is at 110.
Kinda
plus,
love her model.
but she ain't doing nothing. Was reluctant to go to the hospital.
Hot
in fear of
damn.
looking attention seeky or wanting money, which is something Adora has put in Radia's brain at this point. Digital Vagrant is like, gang, I know your medical shit. I know you ain't faking it, and I know you hate hospitals. Plus, if this was a way to get attention, this is a weird method to go down.
Yeah.
She ends up going when Digital Vagrant meets her there. The other girls knew what was going on, but they didn't say shit to Radia.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting at though. So the green-haired chick is the one who's the one we're rooting for right now. She's the issue. These two went along with it. That is what I think has happened so far.
The document analyzes like the language used in the screenshots. I kind of pointed out where Adora was being a bit weird and manipulative, but they give what Adora is doing a specific name called coercive control. Pretty common in abusive households since parents or partners are usual abusers with this method. Again, I'm not a fucking psychiatrist or I'm not a therapist.
Oh!
I'm just a nigga on the internet. Basically though, in easy terms, it's a subtle way to control you and even the narrative using methods of isolation, accusations, threats, and a few other things. I said
Give it
these
to
three
English,
specifically
please, just
because
because I
it
can't
pointed out that
moderate the
Adora has
languages.
effectively done all three of those things. Separated Radia from Project STEM and others by spreading it.
Ish.
The whole intervention.
Although
with
speaking of which, I
accusations,
went
saying
for
that if she
my
connected streaming too quickly, they would just stop being friends. On top of that,
yeah,
just manipulate.
that sucks. But like, I went to the gym last night, actually, like last night. Normally I go like right in the morning, but it felt really good. Gaming, how you doing? I'm not even bothering to correct you now.
Manipulative language.
Yeah, I
choice,
go to the
like,
gym.
I say this out of love.
Actually, if you look
this
at
point,
media, you'll probably see a
Radia
bunch of
starts
my
to speak up a little bit, and
pics
Adora
from like.
sent a copy of
I
the
don't show
document
myself,
that
but
the
like I
other
show the
members of
weights and
Project
stuff.
STEM helped create to Digital Vagrant, Radia's partner.
Or just from like when I'm
By
coming
the way,
home,
I
the
should make it
images.
known that Digital Vagrant is actually the one that wrote most of this document. Whenever you see writing in blue, that's Radia herself. Writing in green is a whole different.
So at the moment, I don't. Popcorn, hi, how you doing? So I don't squat right now. I had an issue with my ankle. I've just had surgery last month to fix it, which it's fucking brilliant right now. Hopefully by the next month we'll start working out my leg with my PT, and then squatting is going to be part of the exercises.
Different person we
So
haven't
we'll
even
see.
talked about yet.
While I
So,
bench around 50
be patient,
kg.
my nigga. Slow down. Oh, by the way, Adora altered the whole document and removed
What?
every point that mentioned her before sending it, without telling the other people on Project STEM that helped work on it that she changed it. She didn't.
Sorry, what? So basically, she got her entire part out of it, so she didn't look as bad. What a bitch. Well, bench is like my favourite, but like overhead press, pec deck, face pulls. I will start doing lat pull, not lat pullers. What's it called? I did them yesterday. What's it called? Fuck. Give me a second. Yeah, 1 out dumbbell rows. Yeah, lat pull downs. Bench, my max at the moment is 50 kg.
We have the list that Adora sent Digital Vigor with us, and I'm gonna be real. A lot of what's listed here is, like redundant. A lot of it lacks much of any substance. There's a few points where I do think it.
But I think
speak up if it bothered them
I should be able to get up to 60 soon
One
by the end of the year.
A Saturday night stream that Digital Vagrant had on Radia's channel when Radio was with Project STEM at a convention, which I don't see how that matters at all.
For what?
One issue is a Saturday night stream that Digital Vagrant had on Radia's channel when Radio was with Project STEM.
About 2 years now, actually.
Which I don't see how that matters at all. Why would she have to report that her partner is streaming on her account? It's her account.
Radia, there's a big issue that unfortunately came up during the convention. And to start,
Bluehound, how you doing?
Stream? Question mark?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine. I just want to know, in that situation, why were you overemphasizing food poisoning?
She was also accused of faking food poisoning and playing up her illness for money. Evidence they give is that the day after the food poisoning, ate breakfast which had gluten in it.
The fuck is gluten?
Because fucking gluten. I don't know. I don't know why.
Why is that an issue? Why is that an issue? If I come on here and say, oh god, I shat my brains out for like a very long time, why is that an issue? Why? I could just imagine promo coming to me. It's like, you shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have said you shat your brains out. We can't be friends anymore. Sorry. Can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine if Promo or Nanya came to me if I talked about that type of shit? Oh, fuck me.
What the fuck did they say gluten specifically? They went to an aquarium and went into bioactive water to swim with.
Okay, what is this? We know for a fact that she woke up in the morning 10 hours later, leaving the hotel room. After eating breakfast in the car casually, okay, and ate food with gluten in it, cool. Arrived at the aquarium with no issues, to then swim in a bioactive water with stingrays while Aminu, I'm not saying the word. Fuck that. Ate frozen yogurt shortly after, something is high in lactose. I'm assuming she's lactose intolerant. Ate a cream Alfredo pasta with seafood shortly after. I don't know if I could go to the aquarium and then eat fish. I don't know, it's kind of like going to a farm and then having a hamburger. It kind of feels like just a little bit disrespectful. Only information ever given was during Montana that she might be bad for her to eat blue rare steak and not feel well. Okay, so she over-exaggerated her issues. And?
With stingrays, she ate some frozen yogurt which Radia was able to consume because she took pills that allow her to eat dairy. She's lactose. And yes, pills like that actually fucking exist. I had to look it up too.
Oh, that's cool.
Real, bro. Then she had pasta with seafood, which going to an aquarium and then having seafood.
Hey, twinsies.
Crazy, isn't it?
even when I have a bad lactose attack, I can't eat properly the next day. And from what I've heard, you were eating just fine.
Yeah, I felt fine.
Thank you.
Like
How you doing?
My body. I felt fine.
Radia,
that's not how that works.
I got food poisoning last month. I wasn't able to eat properly for 2 days.
Okay, I'm sorry. Why is this an issue? So she over-exaggerated what she had. She probably just legit just had like a little bit of a tummy ache with a little bit of, like, diarrhea and shit. What? It doesn't matter if she over-fucking exaggerated it. I don't get what the issue is.
I couldn't hold down a cracker because my body rejected everything so bad. I was throwing up from 6 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, non-stop, and I was not able to eat solid food until the evening of the very next day, where it was a thing of soup.
Yeah, I just thought it was food poisoning from eating the meat.
Now, I'm not supposed to talk about this subject now, but since Editor Tokyo decided to show the fucking audio clip now instead of later, let me explain something and give my opinion. Now, they're more upset that Radia having a lot of medical issues, as we kind of can tell, and we'll see later. She didn't mention food poisoning at all, but talks about it on stream instead of to the people that are, you know, in the hotel room with her, as this did happen when they were all in a hotel room at the convention. Which is then feeding into their suspicion on her hiding the stream and lying about the food poisoning. They also say that her having food poisoning and then being able to eat a night after is highly unlikely. Now, do I think she had food poisoning exactly? In my non-college education having brain, I think she just had a stomach bug from something she ate that day. Not exactly
possibly
food poisoning, I would say. And that Radia, after throwing up and feeling better, didn't really see a reason to tell anyone because she felt bad.
The thing is, she probably ate a bit too much and was feeling really shitty. I know when if I eat a bit too much, because I've done it, my stomach feels really weird. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm basically just sweating and like, oh, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. When you throw up, you feel a little better. Like, this is common knowledge. Possibly she thought it was food poisoning.
On the floor as her bowels was being expelled. How did this happen? Well, I'm gonna let Past Tokyo do the talking. Apparently, the night before, during like dinner, Radia brought up that she ate some blue rare steak. I don't know if y'all know what blue rare steak is. It's where the internal temperature of the steak is
Why would
so
you
low that it's
know?
barely even cooked. So I can understand the possibility of at least feeling a bit yuck, especially if you haven't had it before. But then later down the list, they say that Radia deceives people with her mental health issues to get money from them. And I also don't see where they have
But it's not raw meat shit.
Her mental health issues or food poisoning as a way to make money, because she kind of gets gifted subs and bits and viewers regardless. Another issue was lack of gratitude. There is a lot in this section, which I suggest y'all read yourselves. But to sum it up, the doc is saying that there is a lot of claims.
So I'm gonna be. You people are probably not gonna like me right now. I don't like steak. It's too chewy, and I've tried to have it like how my dad has it, where it's like a little pink. Didn't like it. We were going on my like meal plan. We had steak and all that for like the protein base. We changed to fish because I much prefer like chicken and fish. Nice.
Within the section without proof or taken out of context or over exaggerated. We're gonna go more into a.
Although speaking of which, I tried teriyaki salmon.
It's basically a list of almost anything that Radia complained about or just didn't.
I tried that the other day. Turns out I don't like teriyaki sauce and I don't like salmon.
Radia's financial standing and vice versa. But this list feels like Shadi was just saying Radia can't complain or express anxiety about her bread, with others that have less bread saying financial standing and
what does it say?
Emphasis on money. Adora is fully aware.
Should be aware of is has been to stay the medical outcomes. Is this just about money then? Is she jealous?
Aware of Radia's financial standing and vice versa. But this list feels like Shadi was just saying Radia can't complain or express anxiety about her bread with others that have less bread, which I can see how that can be insensitive. Even tried to say that she would complain about money, but then say that upgrading their hotel room was only $50 for an entire stay, which compared to like flights and a convention expenses, a $50 upgrade for a whole stay?
That's not
Shit
bad.
Sounds like a steal to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, the fact that the stream her boyfriend did on her channel netted her some donations, so she got a little bit more bread from that. You feel me?
That's nice.
The third issue, just like the rest, lacks a lot of substance, like copying tweets like the hype meme. I want to pause for a little bit because niggas copy memes all the time.
It comes with the service, nigga.
And celebration on YouTube success, and also copying the elevator concept and being sad it didn't do well despite not putting a lot of time in it. Don't ask me what the elevator concept means, because I don't even know.
I am confused.
And that's the whole list.
I am
Like,
confusion.
I can see some things in this list being something to address. And most of these are like small nitpicks that should have just been said in the moment. But, you know, whatever. On to the next part. This section was long as shit already. To go more in depth with the whole Adora sending the dog to Radia's partner, Digi, the gist of his point of view is
So this
basically-
dude is Static Tokyo. I have no idea who he is. I've never watched him before. I feel like I'm gonna fucking
Digi
subscribe
gets a
anyway.
message from Funari first saying, yo, look out for Radia, her mental might be a little bit fragile, as well as some of the accusations made against Radia without a whole lot of evidence. But Funari became ill and hasn't messaged bro since. That's when Adora then drops the bomb on his head with the dock. At this point, Digi is also in a weird spot because at this
Wait,
point,
is this the dog that
Digi
she
will
removed
want
herself
to
from so
find
she looks
themselves.
instant?
Especially since Adora and Radia call each other sisters. Digi was then thinking about this non-stop for 2 days.
Fishy, how you
was
doing?
Also trying to help Radia as much as he could.
It's Chi, not
Trying to get her to speak
Chi.
up. Adora hits up Digi again, and Digi didn't see anything out of the ordinary until Adora would start adding in accusations that just sounded
Doodoo butter.
What? No, come on, I want to read it.
until Adora would start adding in accusations.
I'm really worried content was just making her worse and not better. Because I personally have to fight off my own brain rot and demons from it. On a unrelated note, can you make sure Ray eats enough? When I saw her at AnimeCon, she lost a considerable amount of weight since I saw her. I'm concerned she may have an ED. I feel like I know someone has a chronic medical condition.
Accusations that just sounded
Losing a large amount of weight
made
would
no
not
fucking
be
sense,
worrying in
and wasn't
terms of
on the
eating
document
disorder, it would be in
provided. Radia
the
then
medical
starts to
fucking issue.
finally talk. And that's when Digi's like,
Hold up.
Bro, Shawty trifling. She must be from Dirty Dogs.
Adora is trifling.
That's what I'm saying.
He then confronts her,
This
basically
dude's
saying
funny.
the way the conversation went was just hostile and was never going to go well, and that it's common sense that a 3-on-1 surprise call was just a dumbass idea.
Yeah.
Adora's like, well, what would you rather us do with your perfect hindsight?
Okay, fuck off.
Digi then says he doesn't understand why Radia got accused of the stream or caught flack for it if Digi was the one that was doing the stream on Radia's channel. And Radia started talking about food poisoning well after the hype train started, and they didn't even
Okay.
make food poisoning a big part of the convo anyways. He then goes on to say that he is just upset with how they basically jumped Radia like that. And Adora says that a one-on-one is not how it works. even
It
though-
should be how it works. If you're concerned about something, bring it up one-on-one. If they don't change after the one-on-one, then you can bring more people in to see if that fucking helps.
It could have been how it worked. And that since they're a group, we did the
Fuck.
call as a group and didn't bring anyone else that wasn't a part of the group, which funny to say considering Adora had another group intervention plan with niggas that aren't in Project STEM.
Really?
It was a fucking lie.
Adora
Damn.
and Tomato then hop in a call with Digi to where Adora was refusing to apologize and only repeated the reasoning for her actions, to which Digi was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm leaving because the logic just don't make sense. And they
I
were
want to
also
watch
treating him
Danny
like he was
Phantom.
digging his nose in places it doesn't belong, or that the situation has nothing to do with him, which kind of does since Radia is his girlfriend or
Yeah.
wife. I don't know if Shadi has a ring on it or not. I don't know. Adora then tells someone else
If
that
they're living
Digi's
together
just
in a
being
house, just say,
misogynistic because he
honest.
expressed that he is upset and claimed that he is biased, when all he said was that the way they went about talking to Radia, shitty and a bit aggressive.
So it doesn't say about anything about the accusations, so those could be true still. It was just the way they went around it that he didn't like, which is
but at
fair.
this point, Digi stopped talking to the people within Project Stem, besides Radia, obviously, but was still aware of what was going on through Radia. He then emphasizes that Radia completely tried to appease everyone, and like we mentioned before,
Oh, she has a wee little pet
even
herself.
thought about quitting, despite the fact it would put her in a financial rut, all to make the other niggas happy. When it was apparent there wasn't much she could really do in the
Okay, so here is what I think it is. And this is probably wrong, and I'm probably gonna get educated because there's still a few fucking bits to go on this page. From what I'm gathering is they didn't like that she, while they were at the Comic-Con or whatever the hell it was, she apparently went on a stream and let someone else stream on her, or she streamed on someone else's account. Either one. Someone streamed on her account, or she streamed on someone else's account. They didn't like that. They also didn't like that she apparently lied about having food poisoning. Again, she probably thought she had food poisoning, she just didn't realize she didn't. Then, from what I'm gathering, I think the bunny chick is just jealous of her for having more money.
In this case, she still tried to separate quietly and professionally because she didn't want to cause any trouble. Also, just a note, this is where another person's involvement began, named Laserpig. Remember the name? No, it's a pretty hard name.
But this
to
is
forget.
already a lot after 20
On June
minutes.
4th, Radia did a stream with another content creator where she made a comment, which, not gonna lie, as a
Look
nigga
at the
that's
little
read
thing
both
she has
docs
in the
already,
corner as well.
the statement was a slight diss towards Project STEM. Basically, like, the whole thing was about how relationships in the VTuber space are transactional and off-putting, etc., etc. Showed the clip.
COVID did degrade the ability for humans to, I think, have meaningful conversation in many ways. And also,
So this is the person who were okay with them, I think.
kind of decay with relationships in which many things are really transactional. And you see this in streaming. There are so many things in streaming that are incredibly transactional. You can have people that are really good friends.
No, this is the part. Yeah, this is the person we're fine. What do we think?
There's a lot of times where minor inconveniences can become the end of a friendship. No one wants to take time to actually go through the pain of cultivating a friendship. Or if they do, it is very few people that want to go through the pain of communication, proper communication, mind you, not just, you know, ham-fisted communication.
And obviously, it seems Adora and Project STEM took that shit personally, because one of them saw the VOD and used it as proof that Radia wasn't actually sorry. On June 11th, that's when Adora and I think Homedo and Funari told her about the stream. Radia then tried to apologize and even stated in the call that she knows what she said was wrong.
It wasn't,
That's
though.
why I apologized.
Yeah, but apologies are words. Actions are where the real apologies are. And it's hard to believe an apology when I hear things on stream that you're saying to your community.
Why are you booing her? She's right. She's right.
Publicly.
I am sorry that is, like, what I said. It wasn't... It was said in hurt. And it's why I've come with, like, a genuine apology after that. Because I know it was...
No, babe. Don't apologize. You're fine. You're fine. They are kind of cunt. Oops.
Adora then said Radia should leave Project STEM and claim it's due to mental health issues. Radia agreed, but didn't want to say it was due to mental health issues because she didn't want to sound loco. However, in Adora's doc, she directly opposes it, saying that she never tried to have Radia even state why she left if she didn't want to. And at the length of this video, you would think that would be the end of it. But of course not. Let's keep it going.
Why? What else is happening?
Basically, Adora saying this whole thing was a private thing between the members of Project STEM. Yeah,
Not
apparently
really.
Dora from the beginning has been talking about Radia to people outside of Project STEM, even before the whole intervention / emergency meeting thing. To Adora being vague about it, like, oh, something big is going to happen.
What
Or a
the
fairy tale-
motherfucking shit is that?
Adora being vague about it, like, oh, something big is going to happen. Or a fairy
I feel attacked by that Sonic.
tale about how bad Radia is, which I'm still so fucking confused on what prompted Radia. to
Wait, how is she
do
being attacked
all
by
of
Radia?
this. Like, no. Let's break it down for a bit. Not only is Adora making content and streaming, managing a group, and going to handle convention shit, she is also on Radia's dick tip, like white on rice. And for what reason? The shit talking
I've
is
never
spread
seen
to
her before,
Radia's
no.
own roommate and anyone Radia would collab with, and God knows who the fuck else. D1 hater. Now, due to all the psychological tick damage that Radia was experiencing, she started to lose her steam. Streaming less, her sense of self-worth went down, she stopped taking care of herself, she wouldn't talk to others.
Damn, nigga.
At a certain point though, when you lie so much, the shit starts to become harder to keep track of. Niggas started to come forward and recount the lies Adora told, and when Radia and Adora stopped talking, Adora started moving combos to VCs, so the shit talk we see in the document might not even be all of it. We have a
Damn.
list of testimonials that we will go through.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
I said remember the nigga's name. I wouldn't lie to you. Adora probably would, but I won't. So first, Laser
Damn, that's a burn.
Pig wanted nothing to do with this.
Hey, breathe, bro, breathe.
But you know, once Shoddy is in the hospital and Digi is crying over the phone thinking he's going to lose his girl, Laser started to lock in. Laser and Adora were homies at this point, you know, on stream, helping each other out, the whole shit
Okay.
going on.
I beg your pardon?
Now, bro asked her directly, and Adora is like confused,
Who are we talking about?
upset, and even cries a little, saying nothing is wrong. But when later asks for the truth, Adora goes cold, tries stop, tone shifts. She tries talking about something off topic and blames Radia for the declining mental health and how
What?
Radia is delusional and it's a narrative cooked up by her and Digi.
What?
Basically, Shoddy's lying her ass up. Like usual. Laser isn't buying it. After Adora couldn't like bullshit and answer and getting frustrated, she starts alluding to a stream where Radia said something about fake friends, which Laser went back and was like, this shit got nothing to do with Adora.
Yeah.
Even though the clip they are referring to is probably the clip we saw earlier, and even Radia apologized for it. But maybe she felt pressured to do so. I don't
Yeah,
know.
at this point, I feel like Radia's just getting, like, fucked. Real quick, I'm gonna BRB for, like, 2 seconds. I wanna go grab a drink. Oh. And we're back. I have an name, bro.
At this point, it's clear Adora is lying, and he peeps it. The fake tears, the frustration, not being able to answer simple questions. Laser starts talking to others, and it's obvious Adora just makes shit up.
Yeah.
Everyone had a different story. Shoddy is so ass at lying. She was making shit up on the fly. Therefore, nobody had the same story. Shoddy thought she was Ayano Koji or something. I don't fucking know. Laser then says that there were other VTubers that were aware of what was going on and had the power to stop it.
Fuck,
but
that's
they just didn't.
cool
to,
fucking model,
save their
though.
own skin, I presume. I understand it, but like, god damn, if I was ready in that situation.
Help me! Help me!
Laser is like, I'm gonna get them both in a call and we're going to talk like adults. Yeah, that shit didn't happen at all.
No.
So basically, Adora just didn't speak. Monotone, emotionless, repeated over and over how they both hurt each other and it was private. You're lying! And that she's ready to bury the hatchet. She says that shit so much, it's honestly kind of crazy how many times she says it. However, at the beginning of the call, Radia did mention a lawyer, so Radia did say in her doc she kept her speech limited in fear of legal action or whatever.
Why?
Even
Because
though
you're doing
she was
something
the
wrong?
one to record this call, not even Radia, so kind of an interesting excuse. I don't know. Laser kept asking, "Yo, gang, what did Radia even do to you?" Which Adora didn't answer.
Can I
Really?
just ask something?
Of course.
Adora, how did Radia break your trust and hurt you?
I don't think it really matters at this point to say.
What? What? It matters. It matters a fucking lot. Also, sorry, my voice just got really fucking high then. How can you say it doesn't matter?
And then when bro was
I
like,
think, did you guys realize?
"Fuck!"
Did you guys see the physical fucking reaction to that?
Do you even think Radia deserves an apology? She said,
I'm sorry, genuinely, that it came to this and that we hurt each other and feel these ways.
Hurt each other? You're a bitch.
Radia even brings up her attempts, to which Adora's response was,
You drove me to Adora.
I really, genuinely hope you can get some help.
absolutely fucking nowhere. She didn't apologize to the person that tried to control delete. She couldn't even say what Radia did wrong. She also blatantly lied in this call, saying that she didn't dox her.
Bury the hatchet. It's just private between friends at the end of the day.
You doxed me!
Wait, where'd you dox her?
I did not dox you.
So that was a fucking lie.
We have screenshot proof of her doxing Radia's IRL name.
You need proof of how to make it. If you need proof of how it makes no sense, just look at her LinkedIn yourself. What a bitch.
So the recipient can find their LinkedIn. And Adora even put this in their response document. So interesting move.
But wait, there's more.
Now, Anarchy also didn't want to be involved at all and tried his best to just mind his business. However, Adora over here called this nigga at 4 a.m. in the morning, telling him, "Yo, Radia is tweaking out, and there is rising tension between Radia and the rest of Project STEM." Now, Anarchy knows Radia pretty well and knows Radia is autistic. Shouts out to the niggas on the spectrum. And also has a fair amount of PhDs, and I'm not talking Blu-ray. Adora, however, said it was an ongoing issue with the members of Project STEM to back it up. Tomato, however, did say she wasn't happy with the way Adora was going about expressing these concerns, saying it was mean girl bullshit. Anarchy started getting suspicious and saw this whole thing as people just not being adults and hammering out their differences.
Yeah.
The only thing
This sounds like
Anarchy
high school
didn't
bullshit.
believe was Radia using her medical conditions to raise money, since Radia has always been open about it, and he was on the stream where she supposedly used it to get money and he didn't see it coming off that way. Now when Adora tried to undermine Radia's and Digital's relationship, that's where shit got serious.
I typically stream for about 2 hours, depending on how long this takes. Depends on how much thing, because this half an hour is taking me an hour to get through. But I don't know if I'm watching something else after this or not, though. I may do a longer stream since it's Friday. But here's the thing. Even if, let's say, because there's a person I follow, Phoenix. What's her name? You guys know names. Do not work with me. Phoenixa. Or Minnie, whatever you want to call her. I follow her. On her streams, she has two things. She has how many subs she wants that day. Well, not once, but the goal for subs, the goal for bits, as well as her coffee page, where it says, so you can like add money to a pot for her treatments. As a math, I only have a few people. I have 6 people on Twitch. For some treatment that she may need. Not may need, that she needs. There is nothing wrong with that. You are... No, not you. There's another person. You guys know her. I've... What's it called? Phoenix. I'm saying Phoenix or Minnie, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but actually probably yeah. I don't know what my goal is for follower count though, to be really honest. But what was I saying? There's nothing wrong with asking for donations because we are, and I'm not gonna say this like in a condescending way. We are here entertaining you guys. And people do it for a long ass time. It is not a bad thing asking for some payment for it. If it's your job. For me, this isn't a job, so I don't ask for money or anything. I put little goals here and there to like say, hey, if you want to do it, come and join. But like, I don't ask for you guys. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've told several people here to stop fucking donating because they do it so much. I tell people several times, don't do it. Because like, I don't want you wasting your money. But like, it's not. If you are one of them. If they have a medical condition and they have it as like a goal, like there's nothing wrong with that.
It became an attack on one of his close homies, Digital. Nigga was gonna spin the block on some Power Rangers SPD shit. Brody started
don't. If you don't have the money for it, don't do it.
Digi had a completely different story to it. Adora.
I say it all the time. Don't waste your money. If you don't have the money, don't do it.
Yeah,
if you do and you want to do it, I'm not gonna complain.
And asked what happened, and was met to an entirely different story than what Adora gave as well. So that's when Anima realized.
So basically, she's telling several different stories. She's not keeping it all together.
And he was like, you know.
So she's not even a good liar.
Some random niggas too, and they knew. Yeah, the random.
This is like legit pissing me off.
Speaking with others behind the scenes as I'm editing this video. Yeah, a lot of people did indeed know. Despite Adora saying that she wanted to keep it a private matter. Anima decided to get on his detective shit and follow the chain of rumors since it was pretty big name VTubers that heard of the shit, sponsors included, just to find out there is a completely different story from each source. And also, Radia isn't the only person she has done this rumor spreading bullshit to either. Oh man,
that reminds me I should check see about some new sponsors.
I'm getting flashbacks. Are you getting flashbacks?
Was that Cinder?
Oh man, this is reminding me of another situation. I'm getting flashbacks. Do
you want to know what's funny? I still watch some of Cinder's videos just because I find them funny. Like, I still watch them, like, I doubt I'm giving her much money.
So basically, Adora would make a story that would best suit the specific person, or like, shift some things of the story to best suit the specific person she was talking to at the time, as well as making sure she removed any wrongdoing on her part, seemingly coupling it with threats and aggression, effectively just trying to ruin Radia.
So what
she decides to go incognito.
So what she's doing is tailoring the stories to each person to where she knows they're gonna get riled up to enough where they're not gonna bother talking to Radium. Good strategy, apart from when they start talking to each other. My birthday is January the 24th.
Asks as politely as possible what's going on and passes it as he's just been seeing some things and been dragged into it. Shawty seemingly backpedals by saying that she shouldn't have involved him and saying that he shouldn't have to worry about the factioning and that she has spotted more lies and doesn't care about what Digi says because he called Pomato aggressive. Bro's like, cool, but I want everyone to, like, you know, fix this shit. And even states that Radia can be insensitive, arrogant, and oblivious to people's feelings. Damn, nigga. Adora reiterates that it would be hard.
She seemed pretty chill. You seem like a bitch.
Radia has actually talked to the rest of Project STEM besides her. But that's because she's specifically
Thank you.
For space. Adora then, of course, says that her side hasn't been hostile, which is like
Bullshit?
Yeah,
after this,
bullshit.
DJ Anima met up with Laser to confirm their suspicions. Laser confirmed their suspicions, and that's when Anima decided to stop talking to Adora and support Radia as much as he could. And states that it sucks that once a
Wait, I'm sorry. These date formats, in contrast to the rest of the screenshot presented, are an Australian format, day, month, year, then month, day, year. You mean the right fucking way of doing it. You Americans can go fuck yourself. I don't do that just because, like,
decided to stop
I've had a
talking
lot
to
of
Adora
weirdos.
and
So I
support
don't
Radia
do it
much
as a
he
blanket
could.
rule now.
It states that it sucks that once a close friend ended up being a... Y'all can guess what I said in the comments. Minerva says that Adora
Yeah,
originally
it's like a
reached out
blanket.
saying
It's a
she
blanket
wanted
rule for like a lot of things. I don't mind people on Discord. I don't play with viewers on the games. It's just easier to separate that line, so it doesn't become weird.
cut the shit with Radia. Also, Loki not wanting nothing to do with the shit. Minerva asked for details anyway. Adora then gave vague details.
Well, the
Minerva
issue
was
is,
like,
if I give you an exemption,
that's
then
not
someone
even
else
that
can be
bad.
like,
Y'all
oh, but you
get over
gave this
it.
person an
Trust.
exemption. So yeah, it's
Adora
easier.
then gives
Blanket
more
rule.
vague details, making Radia look like
For
the
everyone.
bad guy. No Billie Eilish. This shit was suspicious to Minerva, especially since everyone was just chilling with each other at Anime North, and everyone seemed to have a good time. But she wanted to mind her business, and
What the
and
fuck?
everyone seemed to have a good time. But
That is thick.
she wanted to mind her business and thought that her two friends would just figure it out themselves. Then she found out that Radia almost died, like literally.
Oh damn.
Ray is short for Radia. It's just easier to say.
Yeah.
Ray didn't want anybody in this shit in the first place, but obviously Adora kind of forced her hand due to the torment that was happening. We have screenshots between Minerva and Adora. First things first is screenshots of Adora saying to Radia that they will remain friends, just not do content together. But then telling Minerva a day later that their friendship with Radia is coming to a close and that they will remain cordial, but this situation can't be fixed. Adora then explains that Radia has lied a lot of times, and that if she wants to know specifics,
Going from like a
she will
pathological
tell.
liar, that's a
Adora
compliment.
goes on to say that Radia blamed Adora for a mental spiral when she reached out about a small lie, and said that Radia tried to guilt trip her for how Radia spiraled towards her boyfriend, which, since we have the context at least from this side of the story, does seem like Adora was at fault for the spiral. Adora then claims she wants polite distance, but which we can see from the date, which is the 4th of June. A day later, on the 5th, is when Adora doxed her. So, I don't know. It seems like pretty impolite.
I can't
distance,
believe
if
she
you ask
doxed
me.
her. I mean, I can see the screenshot, so I believe it. But like, when you can't believe
By
someone's
this
just
point,
done
Ray
that.
is trying to move the fuck on, but she learned that any attempts to speak about what happened in any way that can even be fathomed as towards the public, she would get hit with a steel chair. Adora announced her hiatus, citing that it's for mental health reasons and to be a better person to people around her. Yeah, how'd that go for you?
Yeah,
Katie?
that didn't
Radia
go
thought,
well.
oh shit, this is probably including my shit, and saw this as a time to just calmly address why she and Adora haven't been making content together as of late. He made a short statement on stream and pinged her Discord, attempted to explain her separation from Adora without making it out to be like a
I legit thought that was
huge-ass
my
thing.
Discord for a second there.
The message, at least to me, didn't seem to take a dig at Adora. You could argue that the section saying, as outlined by her hiatus, she has taken a period of mental and self-restoration spurred on by negative mental space, which caused her to do and say things that she regrets. Could be taken as a jab, I guess, but Adora's announcement says she
Thank
wanted
you.
to be a better person to those around her, so it was clearly
Yeah, it doesn't work
building
out.
off of
That
I don't
didn't
know,
work
though.
out.
I don't find what Radia said as anything too crazy. Adora, however, started to shoot, basically saying a counter announcement stating that her hiatus doesn't have anything to do with anyone else or external situations, which I kind of feel contradictory.
She's taking a hiatus for mental health and to like be a bad person to people. How does that not include people?
Statement in the first place, because otherwise, why even bring up being a better person to those around you?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anyone else around you. Maybe I'm reading too into it. I don't know. She then hits
No,
up
I
Radia
think you're just
saying
being
that
way
her
too
hiatus
smart
has
for
nothing
her.
to do with her and not to speak on her behalf. Radia was like, word, it was best for you, and that she's happy Adora is finally getting help. That is when another person, Alicia X Life, or Alicia X
Hey,
Death,
Alicia!
you fucking
I love her. I
pick your
actually watch
poison,
her.
makes a statement on their Discord, basically.
Hey folks, I was made aware of some bullshit statement by Radia about Adora. Oh no! No, Alicia! Alicia, no! Adora's taking a break for her, and I have an amazing heart about life and growth that didn't involve Radia. I don't know why she's making it about herself. You all know I don't fuck with Radia after she pressured you guys to donate to her. She didn't! And got mad at someone mentioning supporting me. Now this is getting weird AF. Here's her random statement she made in Adora's fine decision.
Defending Adora. Don't blame Alicia specifically, as it is very possible and even seems so due to recent comments made on Twitter that she
Wait, well, go away. I want to read it.
specifically, as it is very possible and even seems so due to.
I do, yes. For reasons I don't want ads and shit. Plus, I like playing my music on my phone, and I like not having my phone turned on to save battery. So Adora and I have an amazing friendship. I don't forget the fun moments we've had. I do think she is turning her life for the better, but I no longer wish to be a part of it. I am not siding with Radia or Adora. I am simply just walking away from both. Fair. Samsung S23. I've been given a lot of screenshots from people I've never interacted with, and also reading about the mean girl behavior is something I don't tolerate in my space. I do not hate either of them, and I wish them both good mental health journeys and healing. Stand by my previous statement about Radia. I've also formed new opinions on Dora based off new information. No Google Arc here, boys, just me dipping.
Recent comments made on Twitter that she didn't know the extent of Adora's intentions or actions, basically saying that Radia's statement is bullshit and it was actually due to a conversation between her and Adora that spurred Adora to have a hiatus. Then goes on to say she doesn't fuck with Radia since Radia pressured her audience to donate to her and got mad when someone said that they support Alicia instead. Now, as a nigga that fucks with Alicia, I personally think Alicia jumped the gun here.
Yeah.
No.
It feels like Alicia was friends with Adora and she jumped it. Because she thought she was fine. She thought Adora was fine. Not realizing she's lying. Which is fair. If you think someone is a liar, and the other person is fine, but the other person turns out to be a liar.
For clarification, when
I
Alicia
understand
is
jumping the
talking
gun a
about
bit.
Radia getting mad at one of her viewers, Radia says it wasn't the fact
I am
that
in the
viewers
UK,
supported
yes.
Alicia. It was the fact that nigga kept saying over and over that they couldn't support Radia and that they gave their money
Welcome
to
back,
their
Phil.
rat queen. So it was more the fact bro was spamming this shit. Also, Radia claims she didn't pressure Alicia's community to do shit. She actively tried to not get buddy-buddy with Alicia because Adora was pursuing that friendship.
Okay.
Which, I don't know, I feel like Adora might be cloud climbing.
Okay, but look. Where's the clip of that? Not that like I'm saying anything bad about Alicia, because like, Melon, hi, how you doing? Not that I'm saying anything bad about that, but like, I feel like I need to see the video of her doing it. Because we already know Alicia's wrong in terms of what she said about Adora and Radiant. So I need to see the video to have proof that she's
Alicia also
not being
stated
lied
to
to.
Radia that she wasn't cool with being friends, literally minutes after Radia got booted out of Project Sim. Radia didn't even fight it. Moving on. Adora
Lovely.
continues to smear Radia's name. Here's a screenshot showing Adora dipping out of a D&D since Radia is involved, stating she took a hiatus because of a dirty house on some Asmongold shit, bad hygiene, mental decline, which caused her to be bad towards everyone. Remember at the beginning of the video when I said Adora was talking shit at Offkai where Radia was physically attending as well? No. Well, one person that was speaking to Radia got approached by Adora when Radia left to use the bathroom. Adora then goes on to tell that person that people will get what's coming to them and reap what they sow.
Wow.
Shut up, man.
Jokes aside, weird thing to say to someone that Radia was just talking to. Bernard reached out to Radia via a call and apologized for her role in the intervention and said that her and Pomato had no idea Adora was going to edit the document and give it to Digital Vagrant. Fen also confirmed some of Adora's wrongdoings to just let her know that she isn't tweaking and how far the fire actually burns. And also with Pomato and Fen seeing what Shadi was doing, they did. Adora then gives like the only small apology soon after, but it also contradicts what Fen says. Adora claims that she made a mistake, the mistake being that when Digital asked Adora for more details, apparently Fen was the one to tell Adora to send the bullet points of what was said.
So she's still lying.
Adora then decided to edit it down. And
I don't trust her at this moment, so she's lying.
Clarified that there was no cancel doc, but she can understand how Radia sees it that way, and that she's sorry for her incompetence and all the pain that it's caused. Now, obviously, this apology is kind of weak. It's funny how she says that it was just an edited down version of it when things involving her was removed. Everything else is ambiguous or uses words like we. Not to mention the just lies being told to outside parties and hell, even to inside parties. And the doxing. And also it completely contradicts what Fen was saying because Fen said she had no idea. July 12th, Radia attempted to... Yeah. Thankfully, with the help of her roommate, her boyfriend Digital, and the crisis hotline, she was able to pull through and still be with us today. And actively streaming. So that's good.
Another one, thank you.
Okay, Radia has a list of ways the situation is still affecting her. Of course, for the sense of brevity, I won't be saying everything word for word, but due to the stress on top of chronic illnesses, she is now suffering from more physical ailments.
Ow.
Which they say could likely be permanent. She's still having thoughts when thinking about the irreparable damage her reputation has taken.
Yeah,
I
can imagine.
Her roommate that she was helping to pay for college had to actually move out.
Hey, look at this shit.
And due to mental and physical stress, her re-entry into college herself was delayed, and she lost $10K of financial aid from her employer.
Oh,
Radia is still scared of Adora because it turns out Adora does like streaming full time, so I guess Shadi did have the time to be a D1 hater. Now, before we get into the final statements, for those that may be sus on how serious Radia's health is, yeah, Shadi put up all the meds she has to take and why she has to take them, and the list is like as long as the CVS receipt.
Damn.
If you don't believe me, go look for yourself, my nigga.
I'm not
Matter of
looking.
fact, take 2 seconds to look at the screen. It's so much shit, I can't fit it all without making it illegible. So, yeah, Shadi isn't capping about her health. Anyways, Radia's final words says that Adora should face consequences for her actions and that Adora has basically sniped anyone that has tried to check her shitty actions. That being said, though, she does say that if anyone decides to somehow look past what Adora has done, she hopes that Adora treats them kindly and that she overall becomes a better person.
I wouldn't
Just
trust her.
Not around her, though, you know. Do that shit over there.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, time to be fair. Adora's response.
Response. Editing this took forever. Lovely. It is 17. I've got 17 minutes left on this video.
Prepare for this, because if you want to check if a VTuber is being sincere when they get caught in some shit, hit Control F and search for the words sorry and apologies and basically any other synonym. As we can see here, Adora doesn't apologize a single fucking time in this doc. She said the word apologize once, with the context being, I do not apologize for talking too much. And sorry to
Oh, okay.
One of them is quoting something Radia said during a stream. The other one being, I'm sorry I decided to talk to my friends because I was hurt. So, yeah. She starts off saying Radia deleted every single DM that she has sent to Adora, which is definitely an interesting move. Adora did indeed preemptively save stuff in case Radia did make a doc or speak publicly. Now, for the sake of not wasting your time, I'm only going to go over new information and rebuttals that Adora states, since her reasonings for doing what she does is basically what I said in the beginning. And yeah, basically everything in that list we covered is basically the reason. Apparently, she even brought up her financial issues during Project Stim's debut stream, which is also the stream where Radia yells at one of Alicia's chatters, saying, I won't feel sorry for you. Obviously, we know the reason due to Radia's... We just talked about it. Come on, easy 90. This chatter kept spamming that they choose to support Alicia like over and over, and she just got tired of spamming. But I guess here they're saying the spamming of the same message didn't take place, but neither Adora or Radia can provide definitive proof of such, so I don't know. He said, she said, I guess.
Yeah, I'd prefer to see the
Adora
video.
shows another example of Radia talking about how streaming isn't really worth it, like the juice isn't worth the effort to squeeze type shit. Like every stream is like $50, which you stream every day of the month. That's like a cool 1,500 payout, low key.
Well, here's the thing. I don't get subs or anything. I don't get bits or anything. I think the most I've ever got from a stream. Let me actually check this. Like, this will tell you the most I've ever got was in April, and I got $114, which is like 90 quid. Yeah, about 90 quid. I do not get much for streaming. Like, I get basically nothing. But I do it because I enjoy it.
In her situation with school and full-time job,
I enjoy talking to you fuckers.
So, you know, context matters. Adora states that since Radia already has a good viewer base and makes more than Adora did when she worked a normal job, she should be chilling, especially since like stream income can easily fluctuate. Bernard chimes in saying that she
like, I got nothing
thinks
last
money
month.
being the deciding factor.
Most months I get nothing.
Healthy, it just makes things more stressful, which I agree with. I did a whole video on this topic alone, low-key. Adora then tries to bash in Radia's skull that Radia has motion. She pulls in good views and is easily the biggest one in the group at this time, saying she understands Radia frustrations with normal.
I'm gonna go
work
follow
and
Radia after
health
this.
system, and said what else would she do with the free time she has. Radia then says she could use it to do certification work or focus on her professional career more. Which, I mean, sure, but shoddy, just go live for like 3 to 4 hours a few times a week. Easy paper in your situation. Basically, it's just showcasing why the group thinks Radia is a bit ungrateful, which I can understand viewing it from that lens. Adora then explains that she doesn't really have bread either. Shoddy was on Snap, which I think is like EBT or like food stamps or something. I'll put a Google search on the screen. I don't fucking. She was able to get off that shit comfortably as of the end of last year, though. Radia also used the Project Stim announcement to promote her throne to raise money to go to Offkai. Now, the other members of Project Stim were already going, but they were just going like individually. They weren't going as a group. Radia didn't even let the group know that she wanted to attend Offkai as a group. Now, later in the hotel room during Anime North, or a day or two after the food poisoning incident, Adora complained that her flight to Offkai is more expensive because she waited so long to book the ticket and now she got to pull from her savings.
But all my money is in the savings. I don't think my card is gonna go through unless you got jeans on because you gotta wipe it off.
Radia then says in an allegedly aggressive tone, she has to book herself a hotel and decided to go for a suite upgrade for $50 more. Adora is confused because, once again, Radia didn't tell the girls about the stream Digi did on her behalf while she was there. So they had no clue, like, how Shoddy got bread now. And also, it was $50 extra for the whole stay. Crazy steal. This is the point where the girls is like, we're gonna have to talk to Radia about this shit. And I do understand, like, talking to their friend about it. However, this dog takes a turn.
Wait, so this was about her complaining about money, which is fair. Let's say, here's the thing. Here, I know Promo doesn't have as much as me. That's like me complaining about that money. To him, like, kinda insensitive, but I can still have complaints.
Because Adora said that the altered list isn't actually altered and is the OG, even though we have a screenshot of her saying it was simplified because Fenari said to just send a simplified version. Despite Fenari saying she had no clue the doc was going to be shared,
she's lied in her apology doc.
Altered. Some shit don't add up, you feel me? Shoddy then asked Fen to make a list of the points that were actually made in the call to make sure Radia's local support was made aware of the situation, which I feel like means you are planning to spread it to outside the group. But anyway, Adora ended up making a shitty simplified version of the list and sent that to Digital. Now I'm confused. Maybe I'm misreading or misunderstanding. She says the altered list is the original list they used to guide them in the intervention. Said the list wasn't supposed to be sent out, but then later says they made a doc with the purpose of being sent out and that she did alter the list and sent that out. Even though she said the altered list is the original one. Am I dumb?
No, you're not. She just can't keep her story straight.
Now, I'm going to go over parts of the intervention call that I didn't touch on earlier.
Eat yogurt in front of me. The entire bit of it. You took
I can eat that. I can eat a bit of it. I can't eat a lot of like I can't eat like heavy fat ice cream, but yogurt is a fine thing for me to eat.
I find it a little weird in Radia's doc. She mentions like dairy lactose pills or whatever. Maybe it's implied that lactose pills she takes is only effective against some dairy. Either way, it's weird she didn't.
Well, no, to me it sounds like this doesn't give me as much of a reaction as other stuff, so it's fine. It's kind of like me. This is in no way the same, but like I hate the feel of onions. But like it's the same as like saying, oh, I can have this little thing that has onions in it because they're small enough. I don't notice them properly. It's like I can't have onions normally, but I can have it sometimes.
At least mention it in the call. Radia then claims she did mention that digital was going to take over for her. The girls all saying that she didn't. And Adora's dog, it says that Radia first said the upgrade is $50 more for the whole stay. Again, crazy steal. But in the call, she says that it was a night.
Is it $50 more a night, or is it $50 more an entire stay?
It was $50 more a night.
But then she quickly apologized and says she meant the whole stay and that she was being bombarded.
It's a stay. I'm sorry. I'm being bombarded by 3 people.
I think it's fair to say that Radia probably did feel a bit jumped, and while I may not agree with the way the intervention was carried out, I do not think it came from malice from all individuals. What proceeded afterwards with Adora's actions? Yeah, that shit felt like malice. But this intervention in and of itself actually does feel like Project STEM wanted to just figure out what Radia was on, and just didn't approach it the right way. They do
it should have been a one-on-one.
Supposed to reach out to Juniper for Anime North, despite saying she would, she just didn't.
I sent her, this is what I sent to Spite, and I sent the thing to Juniper, and I was gonna go remind people, and I fucking forgot.
So yeah, now do I think Radia was lost in the sauce? Yeah, a little bit. The numbers was definitely taking its toll. Would I then set up an intervention under the guise that it's a meeting about Project M? Probably not. Probably wouldn't do that. I would just hit her up being like, yo, we noticed some things have been going on and we're just worried for you. I think we all need to talk. Maybe it would have worked better. I don't know. Adora says that they wouldn't have suggested taking a stream break if Radia told them she couldn't afford to take one financially. Adora then provides a fuck ton of screenshots, most of which are just expanded screenshots of things we already went over in Radia's document. Some just add context about them keeping in touch somewhat throughout this. I won't go over all of them, so I just at least skimming through them yourself. But we see more context from screenshots that Radia showed, where in Radia's doc she cut out the part about like Adora's father, which I think is fair since your father has nothing to do with the situation. And then Adora showed that Radia cut out the part where she was upset that Fen showed up to support Adora instead of her. Now Fen showed up for Adora because Adora just came out about getting assaulted in December. This was a low blow for Adora because Radia and Adora were assaulted by the same nigga. We just see normal chatter until June 3rd. Radia shows her displeasure of how the ham-fisted intervention was carried out.
The pain of communication, proper communication, mind you, not just, you know, ham-fisted communication.
Ah, you see why I said remember hand-fisted? It all makes sense now, huh? Adora
no, because I think I've...
What? Was carried out. Radia shows her displeasure of how the ham-fisted intervention was carried out.
Ah, okay.
The pain of communication.
Ah, you see why I said remember hand-fisted? It all makes sense now, huh? Adora didn't really fuck with that, and as she said, it was just to let Radia know what was up. She then says that maybe she just put too much effort into the friendship and isn't fair to expect Radia to return the same energy. Kind of a weird thing to say in my opinion, but carrying on. She clarifies that she doesn't even dislike Radia and that they're chill, even though 2 days later, she talked about distancing and even snooping her LinkedIn and doxing her name and LinkedIn to a third party.
I can find that.
Now, she did this because another lie Radia seems to have told is about her degrees, her education. Apparently, she said she had a chemical engineering degree, which I think is one of 2 engineering degrees she talks about here. Apparently, though, in her LinkedIn, she doesn't have that listed. Instead, it's a degree in biology and a degree in environmental sciences and engineering. Also, there isn't any gaps despite her saying she worked for the government and now she does large-scale enterprise architecture and network engineering.
Okay.
Oh, that's a fucking mouthful. Adora claims that there is a bit of inconsistency in this video, so let's view the clip.
Yeah, I went to school initially for pre-med, and then that was way too expensive. So looked at my credits and went, what can we do with this? And then I went into environmental engineering and sustainability. I did biology with a concentration of microbio, and then that was also combined with like a dual major with chemistry. So that ended up getting combined on the engineering degree. So technically it's environmental and chemical engineering. It gets weird.
Sounds like she has 2 engineering degrees. Unless I'm dumb. Cuddy said that she has an environmental and chemical engineering degree, which I don't know if she means like that's 1 degree or it's 2 degrees, like 1 in environmental engineering and 1 in chemical engineering. I could be dumb though. It does.
I don't understand it either, so I'm not gonna comment. I have no idea.
Though, I will say, granted, I haven't seen the LinkedIn for myself. We only talk about what's publicly available over here. So Momo is the person that Adora doxed Radia to. However, Momo is Adora's manager, or ex-manager now. You're fired! Momo is also the person that told Adora to record and make a doc that is shared between the rest of Project STEM in case other inconsistencies come up. There's some things said that are a bit interesting, to say the least. They start off talking about the whole degrees thing and how it doesn't line up, which again, I haven't seen the LinkedIn for myself, so I'm gonna take it at face value, I guess. But Adora starts putting Radia's terminal illness into question.
What?
Which, since we've seen medical records of Radia, and also all the perks you gotta take, and by perks I mean like medicine that is prescribed for a multitude of reasons, I feel like it's safe to say Radia definitely got some health issues. But this is when Adora starts to skew things. She said that Radia gaslit her into saying that a room was a $50 upgrade for an entire stay, and then later, Radia said something else. Omitting the fact Radia did say something else at first, then corrected herself.
Yeah.
Now, apparently Radia seemingly had an incident with actual radiation, which I guess is how she came up with the theme for her model. But when Adora asks why Ray didn't sue, Ray claimed the government would have called it classified, to which Adora calls bullshit because apparently it's public record, and then claims that Radia is most likely lying to her community about having a terminal illness she made up to make her model look cooler and make money. Adora, you posted this doc after Radia proved that she had an illness. Why'd you even include that?
Yeah, you should not have included that.
Worse. It made you look kind of like a dickhead. Now, Adora then...
Look like a dickhead? She is a dickhead. There's no made you look. She is.
Radia's real name, but then deletes it. Momo even said that she wouldn't leak any of what was said in DMs, which you kind of know. Momo went back on her word. Adora claims that she wasn't going around and spreading her private info to any and everyone, and if she has, please give proof. Otherwise, it's just hearsay. I think the weirdest thing is that during this interaction, Momo was very like on Adora's side and was looking at the LinkedIn herself and even found it weird as well. So I wonder what made her go and leak the whole doxing real name thing. Anyways, after this conversation with Momo, Adora simply didn't want to work with Radia anymore and claims that she had no intention on ending her career and she regret her past actions and emotional response here and she isn't proud of the way she spiraled. Now, not to be an actual dick, I wonder if she's only regretful due to Momo switching up. Like, if Momo never told Radia, hey, by the way, she doxed you and gave me your real name so I can check your LinkedIn, would Adora regret it at all? Also, Adora claims that Radia was also spreading shit about her, but doesn't go into detail about it. She says that people are going to talk in private when hurt, and wish that Momo let what she said stay in DMs. I understand that, but it also kind of makes you look like bad, because it could be interpreted as like, oh,
makes you look like a bitch.
Didn't get caught. But Adora then presses Radia a bit, saying that for any other criminal claims or doxing claims, prove it or press charges. Show me evidence of every wrongdoing you claim I have done, since you only have testimonial evidence and short screenshots.
But what does that have to do with it?
Thing is, when you start talking in law terms, you kind of look bad.
No, he's got a point.
This whole situation basically putting your bets on who sounds the most believable and who has more like people backing them up. However, in this doc, Adora kind of proves herself that she kind of skews information, at least when upset. Now, Adora actually does appreciate the apology Radia provides, and that Radia and the rest of Project STEM hop in another call to basically, hash it out better. This is the call we talked about earlier where Radia was let go from Project STEM. At this point, Adora begins to have a mental decline. That's when Laserpick hits up Adora and confronts her about the document. Adora is confused and says that there was no document, claiming that she was thinking about the document Momo suggested to make. not the doc she made about the intervention that she sent with Digi. Once Adora realized, oh shit, that's what y'all are talking about, she seemingly owns up to the mistake, saying that she made the situation worse and for them to focus their ire on her. Offkai happens, and that's when Alicia does the intervention with Adora, and Adora goes on her hiatus, and she too also contemplating blue screen. Fortunately, that didn't happen, of course, and she reached out for help. That's when Adora then separated completely from Radia and left the D&D campaign I mentioned earlier. Adora, however, then claims that Radia was the one not willing to bury the hatchet, as third parties from certain D&D campaigns were down to help mend things between Adora and Radia. Adora was down, but Radia wasn't responding to anything and instead acted in silence. Adora even asked screenshots of the people that were willing to help and people she even reached out to that were down to help mediate. But Radia just wasn't ready, I guess. Adora does provide clips of Radia talking about STEM, and I will show it now.
Am I still part of STEM? No, I decided to depart from that. And again,
fuck is that?
Not really going to talk much about on that at the current moment. I will talk more on things, as you have seen the immaturity of others. I will leave it at that. STEM was an org. STEM was not an org in any way, shape, or form. No.
Not gonna lie, that seems backhanded as hell. You should have stopped talking about it after you said I'm not going to talk about it during this current moment.
Yeah.
And here's another clip saying that shit is bad.
Oh, I'm not guilted into telling you guys what happened. I literally have to because I cannot handle it anymore.
It has reached the point.
Like, Stacy is being very blunt here. It is bad. It is very bad.
Again, weird thing to say. I know people are asking about it, but as of right now, Radia is the only person that is bringing it up on stream, at least from what we're seeing. Adora then gets hit with a message when she comes back from her hiatus. Yeah, that gotta hurt. Now, if you look at the time, this is the time where Radia did try to...
Okay, Adi.
So it's a very, like, sad message. Obviously, Radia is alive.
Have a good night, yeah.
Thankfully. On the 27th, that's when the laser pick call happened. The one where Shadi was, like, monotone and deadpan.
That was confusing.
Two friends had a major falling out that literally put their lives at risk, caused extreme emotional, physical, and financial turmoil. Either way you see it, I'm glad they at least breathing. Comment below what you think. If I missed something substantial, let me know. And if you can clarify something I maybe didn't understand, comment that as well.
So he was fine.
Peace. This video is long as shit, huh? And don't go.
Okay. Is this Cinder? It's about Cinder. Anyway. Ah, what? Just talking real quick. You know what I just got though? My Pardon me. I think you guys could hear that straight away. On the TikTok side, my live's been restricted because it may be harmful to other people. What? Bullshit. Let's have a look and see what else we can do. I don't think we watched the horse video yet, no. We didn't watch the horse video yet, no. There's no way the horse video can, like, make me feel horrible. Let's watch something about horse girls.
Meet Jiankui He, a Chinese scientist who had created a genetically modified baby, breaking every ethical law regarding genetic research and being sentenced to jail for 3 years back in 2019. After being released, he would somewhat disappear for a while until he got access to social media, most namely Twitter. And in classic supervillain fashion, he would tweet out, "Every pioneer or prophet must suffer," while staring intently at the camera.
We are talking about the Horse Girl game, correct? This is a weird way to start the video.
All while continuing his genetic research like nothing had happened. This would of course make him go viral, but what were people's reactions here? Were they shocked? Were they outraged? Were they scared? No, they kept spamming him, pestering him even, with one request. Eventually, there will be so many people requesting the same thing that he had to make an entire post responding to it, saying, "Stop asking for cat girls, I'm trying to cure disease." This dude was sentenced to jail for creating genetically modified babies and forging the ethical paperwork. But the only thing people were concerned with was cat girls. Yeah, I mean, it comes as no surprise, guys. Anime girls have taken over the world. But look, if the movie Ratatouille has taught me anything in life, it's that things are better when combined together. And so some of the most intelligent people on planet Earth saw cats and thought, wow, this is really cute and adorable, like anime girls. Why don't we combine them and create cat girls? The result? A massive success. Yep. This, of course, made even more people think, until a particular group of people came up with a very interesting idea. They thought, well, look, humans love cats, right? I'm sure they love dogs too, but what's one animal that's been with us since the beginning? An animal humans share a very important bond with. Horses. So listen to this genius idea, right? What if we took anime girls and gave them horse ears and horse tails? Then we would put all these cute anime horse girls together on a track and have them race just like horses do during horse races.
Just without the rider.
Okay, things don't end here, because these horse girls are living a double life. When they're not racing on the horse track, they're idols, dancing and singing in top-tier performances to a massive audience. Sounds absolutely insane, right? I mean, seriously, horse girls, anime horse girls racing on a track. You've got to be shitting me, man. The concept of gacha games is already niche, and horse girls in a gacha game, you won't find anyone to play this. Nope, I was severely wrong. Yep. Look at this chart just on Steam, with a peak of 87,000 people playing at the same time. That's not all, though.
I've still not played it. I think I have it installed though.
And has already reached over 1 million downloads on the Google Play Store. Still not surprised? The game has gotten so popular on Steam that it has beaten every single game on the platform to claim the #1 spot for most downloaded games in this current.
How is the Stream Deck a downloaded game? Oh no, top sellers. He's saying it weirdly.
Period. Now you might be thinking, okay, fine, maybe it's like
how's no top 100 selling games? How the fuck is a Steam Deck a game? I stand by what I said.
Mass hysteria going on. Maybe this concept is so ridiculous people downloaded it, but then realized, it's not really for me, right? Look at these reviews. 94% very positive, with almost 15,000 reviews on Steam. This game didn't just get downloaded a lot, it's now critically acclaimed. But if you're still somehow not shocked yet, well, get this. Gacha games are typically liked by... But if you're still somehow not... This game didn't just get downloaded a lot, it's now critically acclaimed. But if you're still somehow not shocked yet, well, get this.
Do they have human ears and the horse ears, or just the horse ears?
Gacha games are typically liked by a very specific demographic, young adults who usually love anime. When it came to this horse girl gacha racing game, though, it reached children, their parents, and their grandparents, doing the impossible and targeting every single conceivable demographic. Guys, it doesn't matter where you go. The metro, the airport, your office, you will most likely see someone playing this on their phone. I say this with no exaggeration. Uma Musume Pretty Derby has taken over the planet. And I haven't seen a gacha game do this since Genshin Impact back during the pandemic. But if this still doesn't shock you for whatever reason, then get ready to get sucker punched in the face, because that's exactly what happened to me when I started seeing headlines like this. Uma Musume developer Cygames is a title sponsor for Grand Prix de Paris, a prestigious horse racing event founded in 1863. An event being held.
I can just imagine all the posh fucks with their snippy little outfits and their little champagne and their little hats, and then they just see a horse girl. Anime horse girl in the corner.
For almost 2 centuries.
Just like
and their
on
logo
the big screen.
Just happens to be on an image of an anime girl that is also a horse. What the fuck is going on? And how did we get here? Well, none of it was straightforward, and this game almost failed to release. Uma Musume Pretty Derby has a somewhat chaotic but also very interesting history. And seeing how it's practically dominated the world, I figured we need to talk about it. So let's do this. Man, horses are such silly animals, but you know what other animals I like? Warships, warplanes, and war tanks, baby. And the best part about this is that I can find all these vehicles and 2,500 other variations in War Thunder, a vehicle combat game so comprehensive in details that it has over 70 million players on all platforms, including PC, consoles, and mobile devices. These vehicles are as detailed as possible, and they span multiple eras. You can then customize these vehicles to your liking. This leads us to my favorite thing about War Thunder, the fact that there are no simple hitboxes. Every vehicle has engines, fuel tanks, weapons, and crew. That's the level of detail we're dealing with here. But wait, it gets better, because if you're a new player or a returning player who hasn't played the game in over 6 months, you get free premium vehicles, 100,000 Silver Lions, 7 days of premium account, and much more, available for PC and consoles. So if you're interested, make sure to get the game for free by clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment. Thank you so much, War Thunder, for sponsoring this video. Alright guys, by now, you know the drill. To really understand the significance of all this, we need context. And in this case, it's going to be a little history lesson. And we're going all the way back to the year 1603, the beginning of the Tokugawa period, otherwise known as the Edo period. This period would be the most traditional period in Japan, mostly because it would be incredibly isolated from the rest of the world. The people in power at the time feared outside influence. In fact, their biggest fear was Christianity. You'd have missionaries from European countries come in to spread the gospel, and people were converting fast. The Japanese leaders saw this as a way for Europe to slowly take control of Japan, so they took extreme measures. They completely locked down the country except for a select few traders who only had access to specific ports. Japanese people were not allowed to leave Japan, and if they did, they wouldn't be allowed back. And more importantly, Christianity was outlawed. The shogunate took extreme measures and massacred over 37,000 Japanese Christians, making it go almost extinct in Japan and ruling for over 2 centuries. This would all change in 1868, when the Tokugawa shogunate would lose its power and the Meiji Restoration would take its place. One could say that this period was the opposite of the Tokugawa shogunate's military rule, completely opening up the country, technologically advancing very quickly, and fully embracing the idea of an industrialized nation that can compete with Europe and North America. That way, they don't face the threat of colonization. During this new era, you'd start seeing more foreigners in Japan, like British and Americans, specifically around port towns. Their numbers would start becoming significant to the point where they'd start having their own communities built around those port towns. This is where, to kill time, Westerners would start playing the sports they knew, like rugby, cricket, and of course, baseball, which is now the most popular sport in Japan today. But according to the 500-page book titled Routledge Companion to Sports History, which outlines the origins of sports all around the world, horse racing in Japan was introduced as early as 1862 by those same Westerners. And within just 8 years, the first jockey club...
I know you're reacting to the shit, but stop fucking talking.
...in Kobe was formed in 1870. You see, the Japanese, much like the rest of the world, also had a special connection to horses. They also loved the idea of entertainment. So they latched onto the sport very quickly, as you can see from this old drawing. Japanese people are on their horses about to race, but the people organizing it can be seen on the left here. And they're foreigners, they're Westerners. Today, it's seen as a prestigious sport, with the Japan Cup having some of the highest prize pools on the planet, and the Japanese taking the sport very seriously, wanting to compete on even footing with foreign horses. Right now, the prize pool for the Japan Cup is about $8.3 million, with first place claiming $3.8 million. And even though horse racing was seen as such an important sport in Japan, there was a problem. Interest was kind of waning. When you go to a horse track, you'd mostly see men who are in the older demographics. You wouldn't see teenagers, young adults, kids, or even women that much. In a way, if things kept going this way, then the sport would have probably died out in a couple of generations. It was simply seen as too old-fashioned. But all of this would change when a particular studio came up with a ridiculous idea. An idea, actually, that almost ruined their company's reputation and potentially could have bankrupted them. I'm of course talking about Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
I'm
Cyber
tempted to
Agent
watch
is a
it.
Japanese company that was founded in 1998. They started out as a digital advertising company, but in 2011 they decided to expand in the ever-growing video game market. This is when they would create Cygames, a video game development studio. Cyber Agent would own the majority of
it's an
the
anime
shares
as well,
of
isn't it?
Cygames, but sell a few to other companies, like for example, Nintendo, who owns 5% of Cygames. They would go on to create some pretty well-received games, like Shadowverse, a digital collectible card game, and of course, Grand Blue Fantasy, which was critically acclaimed. But arguably, Cygames' most important game would end up being one of the first ones they'd ever release in 2011, titled The Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. This game would be a part of the massive franchise known as The Idolmaster, owned by Bandai Namco, with the first ever game coming out in 2005. Many games for this franchise would release, and in 2011, that's when Cygames would release The Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. They made this on behalf of Bandai Namco. What was special about this game is that it was made for mobile phones back in 2011. Namco was seeing the rise of mobile games, and so that's when they asked Cygames to help. The premise was simple. You'd collect a bunch of items.
I'll be fully
and so
honest.
That's when they asked
I just thought this word here, I thought that said furry.
Cygames to help. The premise was simple. You'd collect a bunch of idol girls and you would train them, raising their stats through lessons. You would then be able to do a number of things, like customize their outfits and even spend money on cosmetics. There would also be many different minigames, including a multiplayer game mode where you can fight other players. The player with the most stats wins. Overall,
What
it
are
was
you
simple,
fighting for?
but extremely successful. This game was earning more than 1 billion yen a month. Back then, that was around $13 million. It was revealed that more than 75% of players who got the game chose to pay for either in-game items or energy in order to play more. And according to this article, in August 2012, the game had made 9 million USD, which is more than the cost of developing the game. This game was making more money monthly than it cost to make. And all it did was just feature a bunch of idols that you trained, upped their stats, and got them different outfits. But you see, Bandai Namco is truly taking this franchise to the next level. It started as an arcade game, they made a mobile game, and they also made a manga as well as an anime that adapted that same manga. They were essentially using this franchise to build a media empire, and it was working
maybe I'll watch
very
that as
damn
well.
They would continue to hire more developers to create more entries in this franchise, and the most recent release would be in 2024, so it's still doing pretty damn well. This is when Cygames would have some sort of an epiphany. Even though this was owned by Bandai Namco, they were the ones who made this extremely successful game. And I mean, it made sense. Why wouldn't a game like that be a success? The idol industry in Japan is probably one of the biggest, most successful industries in entertainment. It involved finding someone young with talent, absolutely destroying their lives with ridiculously rigid training and extremely unrealistic expectations, and once they get enough popularity, this is when you would milk their fans with a bunch of different media and merchandise. People will do anything for their idols. They'll literally buy a photo album of them, okay? This is why the idol industry is such a money printing machine. But here's a fun fact for you. When it comes to horse racing in the West, certain jockeys, who are the horse riders, might have fans. Sure, the horses that they ride also might have fans, but it wasn't anything crazy. In Japan, on the other hand, the horses had fans, all right. They had their own merch. They were recognized by name. Some even had superstitions made around them. I mean, this is just a talent Japanese people have to idolize anything they like. And as much as this sounded ridiculous, there was big market potential.
I'd buy a horse plush.
Cygames had made a very successful idol game, and yet horse racing was a deeply historical aspect of Japanese culture while also having those same idol traits. You know what else is interesting? When it comes to entertainment, the idol industry is very profitable, sure, but one thing Japanese people love to do is gamble, baby. A Japanese person not knowing pachinko is like an American not knowing what a burger is. At this point, it's practically cultural. I mean, look,
Pachinko?
it goes without saying that horse racing was very popular in Japan because of the whole gambling aspect of it. And now you can gamble on a simulated horse race. It's not even real. And
Really?
you place your bets on this spaceship-looking machine, bro. This looks insane. That's how much they love it. And finally, just like how idols and gambling are huge in the entertainment industry in Japan, we can't forget to talk about anime. And in the early 2000s, many artists were having the amazing idea of giving anime girls cat ears or just small.
I want to watch that again. Tokyo. What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? Tokyo something. Tokyo something. Tokyo something. What's it called? I have it, so I'm gonna look it up. Anime Tokyo. Tokyo Mew Mew. I want to watch Tokyo Mew Mew again.
Animal features. Not to mention that there were already examples in media taking this a step further. Instead of giving them animal features, they would give them features of objects. Like how the game Azur Lane has you collect these hot anime women that are meant to be World War II battleships. I'm not even joking, bro. Look, this woman's called Azuma, and she's part of the large cruiser category. She's stationed in the camp Sakura Islands. This is meant to be a battleship, bro, like an actual boat. You understand? And man, does she have some big cannons, let me tell you that much.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the genius at Cygames was, bro. It could be the CEO, it could be a producer. Someone had the brilliant idea to sit everyone down and say, hey, what if we combined all these elements
my
together?
arse is starting to
For
hurt.
the gambling, we make a gacha game. For the anthropomorphic cat girl part, we make horse girls. And for the idol part, we base them off the most famous horses in Japan, while also making them sing and dance, because why not? Now, be honest, if you were one of those people listening to this pitch, would you have signed off on this? Because it obviously sounds ridiculous, right? Most people probably wouldn't have.
Here's the thing. You gotta know your fan base. There's 100% a fan base for this, and it's proven that there is.
But Cygames had top-tier drugs in their office because you know what? They said yes. They then wasted no time getting started on developing the game, revealing it for the first time on the 21st of August 2016 at the Anime Japan Expo. Excitement for this game was actually already starting to build up, and that made more people want to know more details about Uma Musume. So on January 2017, the main content producer of Cygames, Akihiro Ishihara, was asked a bunch of different questions during an interview, and one of them was, please tell us about the development status. And he said, this game is about 25% complete. Keep that number in mind. But for now, this interview had also revealed many of the horse girl designs, as well as the famous horses they're based on. It seemed like they knew what they were doing. And they had learned their lessons with Bandai Namco. They were going the Idolmaster route, not just aiming to make one good game, they wanted to make a media empire around Uma Musume. So just a couple months after that interview in March 2017, they released a manga. But they weren't done yet because they wanted to adapt this manga into an anime and were going to enlist the studio PA Works to do it. The plan was to release this anime in 2018 in parallel to the game's release. That way both would help each other and they would start off with a strong symbiotic media empire. That was the plan, except
the game
nothing,
didn't finish.
and I mean nothing in regards to release dates went according to plan.
Yeah, I'm
The
assuming.
Uma Musume Pretty Derby anime would release on April 1st, 2018. It wasn't just limited to Japan, it had a simulcast with Crunchyroll in select regions of the world. It was almost an instant success. Similarly to how people love the idea of cat girls, the idea of horse girls was also very well received. But a couple of aspects that it was really praised for were 1, its attention to detail, and 2, its very
They have a dedicated road for horse girls, like the bike lane.
skilled world building. But we'll get to that later. Right now, there's a more pressing concern going on. As the anime was running, the game would release 3 more teasers on April 19th. It showcased a race, a live show, and a story/training section. I can't show you those videos because they've been privated, but overall, it seemed a story. Right now, there's a more pressing concern going on.
I'm watching this anime.
As the anime was running, the game would release 3 more teasers on April 19th. It showcased a race, a live show, and a story/training section. I can't show you those videos because they've been privated, but overall, it seemed like everything was going according to plan, with the game scheduled to release around the end of 2018. This would be confirmed again on July 2018.
When did the
with
game
yet
get
another
released?
trailer showing off the game and its mechanics, announcing at the end that it was going to release at the end of 2018. As people were waiting, wondering when the game was going to come out, Cygames took their sweet time and only announced on December 15th, 2018, literally the end of the year, that Uma Musume Pretty Derby has been delayed in order to raise the game's quality, saying that they will reveal the new release period at a later date. I mean, okay, not a big deal. I mean, it would have been nice if you told us earlier,
Yeah.
but one delay doesn't hurt, especially if the game's going to be better for it, right? Well, the game got delayed again in 2019. And the new release date was slated to be in 2020. Now, Cyber Agent is a publicly listed company, and just like any publicly listed company, they would have shareholder meetings. So in their third quarter shareholder meeting in 2020, they re-emphasized to
when
their
did the game
investors
get
that
released? Was
Uma
it this
Musume
year?
Pretty Derby was going to be released in 2020, confirming that fact. Just a couple of months earlier, in May 2020, the managing director of Cygames confirmed yet again that Uma Musume Pretty Derby was releasing in 2020. But then we got to December 2020 and the game was nowhere to be found. But yet again, in the final shareholder meeting of the year on December 12th, investors would be told that this game is still on track to release in 2020. But there were
Doubt
2
it.
weeks left in
But
the
then
year.
season
It was
2's
safe to
coming
say
out.
that after previous delays, people weren't just thinking, oh, this game's going to be delayed again. They were also thinking, is this game ever going to release? How can you say in an interview in the beginning of 2017 that the game's almost 25% done with a 2018 release date, and yet here we are 2 years later,
They ever
barely
say
able
what the
to make
delays was?
release? Usually this means that the game has no direction, that Cygames is dealing with an internal disaster. And what really reinforced this narrative is the fact that the game didn't even come out in 2020. We had reached 2021 and the game still had not released yet. It was only on February 24th, 2021 that the game had finally released in Japan. And while it was cool that the game had finally come out, people didn't really know whether to be excited or worried. Especially with how Cyberpunk 2077 had released just a couple months earlier, and even though it's been delayed multiple times, had one of the worst launches in history. But you know what? As hard as it was to believe, this was not the case with Uma Musume Pretty Derby. People
So
were
it's
so
good.
addicted to the damn thing, they couldn't stop playing. The gameplay loop definitely took inspiration from their work on Idolmaster. Your horses, or horse anime girls, would have 5 different stats that you would train them on. You'd also have many different minigames and many ways to interact with your roster. You would then have your horse, or horse girl, race, competing against others in a bid to win first place. These races would make your heart beat like crazy because there was always a chance that one of the horse girls could use a special ability, including your own, like you're seeing right here. You could be losing a race and then your horse will all by themselves decide to do this in order to win. It just depends on their mood and how you've treated them. One could even say that this was more exciting than IRL horse racing thanks to all these factors. But the game wasn't over with just one horse girl. Eventually that horse girl would retire, just like IRL horses, kicking off the inheritance mechanic just like real life. Here's an example. This is the family tree of the very famous horse, Goldship. As you can see, this is probably more complex than my own family tree, and I'm a human. It rivals the family tree of like some royalty from the 1600s or something. This is all done with the goal of creating the most genetically engineered monster that can dominate any race. And that's what you kind of do in Uma Musume as well. The hard work that you put into your now retired horse girl can now be incorporated into your new horse girl by using her as one of her coaches.
Okay, so you don't get to see the horses girls fuck then. Cool.
So
A
in a
little
way, you
disappointing.
also become more of a genetic scientist and try to create the perfect horse girl after many different runs. This gameplay loop was so addicting, it was like playing a Civilization game, screaming one more turn as the police is confiscating your phone from you because you haven't eaten in 3 days. People couldn't stop playing it. But as this game became so popular in Japan, it started somewhat suffering from success, you could say. You see, usually the people who own some of the best racehorses in the world happen to be some very wealthy and successful people. Seeing that Uma Musume's characters are based on
Did they not get permission? Did they just do it?
real life horses, they had to go and ask each of these owners
Okay,
their
no, it's fine.
permission to have them in the game.
So they
the
did.
owners agreed to do that free of charge, not charging any money. This was seen as a very cool and kind gesture from them. But here's the thing, these weren't just horses, these were anime girls that were in many cases pretty. And usually when you present Japan with a pretty anime girl, they will instinctively almost want to draw some pretty lewd fan art. That was a problem. Cygames knew it was a problem, so they created very specific fan-created content guidelines, outlining rules, saying you can't make fan art with the intent to injure the reputation of this franchise or other third parties. You can't do any lewd stuff, you can't do any violent stuff. The owners of these horses did not want to see their horses participate in anything.
But how do you
like
find
that.
out who did
It was
what?
a red line for them, but that didn't necessarily make people want to listen. Now,
Yeah.
of course, usually if you were to break these rules, Cygames would just send you a takedown notice and sue you if you don't comply. But of course, this would be too boring for a franchise like Uma Musume. So some people came up with a rumor that now is regarded as truth in many different circles and has spread like wildfire.
I'm sorry. Okay, that's a frame to fucking pause on. But what was I gonna say? Like, here's the thing. You know for a fact, if you had male horses, what male horsemen? So you say horse girls, but like horsemen, horse boys, whichever one I want to say. You know for a fact you can make them buff as shit, and women would go mental over it.
If you draw any lewd art of Uma Musume girls, the Yakuza will knock on your door and hurt you.
Okay, that makes
so as
sense
far
about
as I
the
can tell,
screenshot.
this all started with this stupid tweet. A Japanese person tweeted this out, saying, "The reason why Japanese artists can't draw Uma Musume porno art is that Uma Musume is based on real racehorses and their owners are like mafia bosses who control the Japanese economy and we don't want to offend them." This was tweeted on March 11th, 2021, so very shortly after the game released. Now, I don't know how much attention this initial tweet got, but what really brought attention to this was the second tweet this person would make, saying, "Please retweet as much as you can for people overseas." It included that original tweet and another image, with that person saying, "The
white.
content of the tweet
Oh my
and the
God,
image is
flashbang.
complete bullshit. It is a falsehood that amounts to defamation of the racehorse owners. I have insulted the owners of racehorses and other people involved in horse racing, as well as the staff of the Uma Musume project. Racehorse owners are people who are sincerely committed to the culture of horse racing. They are not involved in antisocial organizations."
If that
In
doesn't
addition,
sound
I
like a
tried to
threat,
make
my
overseas
God.
artists complicit in the prohibition of secondary works that significantly worsen the image of the project, which is clearly stated in the official guidelines. This is all due to my short-sightedness and arrogance. I would like to express my deepest apologies to everyone involved and to all those who have supported me. So this apology was definitely overkill to the initial tweet. It was clearly like some kind of a joke, I guess. It was almost like this person had, I don't know, murdered someone. This made people assume that this person got caught by the Yakuza and forced, right, at gunpoint to make this apology, because that's what it sounds like. As you can see here, the top comment is, "So they found you?" The person said, "No, it's not. It's just that I made the wrong statement." Someone else said, "I'm guessing they gave you a call." To which this person said, "No, it doesn't." Someone said, "I'm sorry to hear that the racehorse mafia got to you. Had no idea Japan even had such an intense culture of racehorsing, let alone one run by gangsters." Then that person replied with, "Please don't tell us such bullshit." This person was so easy to troll. And this eventually got posted on Reddit, ironically saying, "Turns out old-fashioned Yakuza are alive and well in Japanese horse racing industry. They are sending goons to stop doujin artists from making drawings of Uma Musume project characters." All of these events have resulted in this becoming a full-fledged meme. Whenever someone mentions, "Man, I'd love to draw these characters in lewd poses," someone always comes in and comments, "Hey man, you don't want to do that. The Yakuza's gonna get you." And while it's funny, it's gotten a lot of people to actually believe it, especially overseas. But the truth is that Yakuza doesn't own any of the horses, and that gambling is heavily regulated by the JRA. The
It sounds like the Yakuza got to him. They got to Mugen. Well,
Japanese Racing Association. So no, if you draw lewd art, the Yakuza aren't going to knock on your door, but you might get a DMCA notice from a lawyer. But regardless, Yakuza hiccups aside, this game was making bank. In 2021 alone, even though they released 1 month after the year had began in February, they had made over $1 billion. And by March 2025, they had made a total of $2.5 billion since release. This is an insane amount of money, but what's even more insane is that 90% or more of its revenue came purely from Japan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it
Cygames
just
had
from
the
Japan
Japanese
for now?
population in its chokehold. And
'Cause
as I
when did
mentioned,
it
these
start
weren't just
coming
young
over to
adults.
here?
There will be endless stories of people going on the metro, going to a restaurant, going outside, and seeing someone way older than them or way younger than them playing this game on their phone. It became cultural. But here's the thing, Japan, even though open to the rest of the world, still has a very particular market. Just because something is successful there does not mean in any way that it'll be successful anywhere else, especially when it comes to the topic of gacha games. So when it came to finally launching the game globally on June 26, 2025, more than 4 years after launching it in Japan, people didn't really know what to expect. It was reasonable to think that it was going to just die out in a few months, with Japan continuing to be its main revenue source. Except what it did was inconceivable. It was absolutely dominating the Steam charts. As you saw in the intro, it became the #1 most downloaded game on Steam at some point.
Yes,
Also
I do have it
becoming an
downloaded. I don't know if I'm
instant
playing it
success
or
on
not
mobile.
though.
But what's really interesting here is that it
Should I
managed to
play it
recreate
tomorrow?
exactly what happened in Japan, but globally, which was not having a target demographic, reaching everyone equally. Here's a fun example. Northern Lion is a streamer who's 36 years old. He would not, in any way, be the target demographic of a game like Uma Musume Pretty Derby. No way in hell. But his chat kept pestering him, please download the game, give it a shot, for the love of God, you'll love it. And eventually, he gave in. Now, Northern Lion is a pretty big streamer. He'll usually average around 15,000 viewers. But when he streamed Uma Musume, he had reached his all-time peak of 40,000 live viewers.
Damn.
And you know what the craziest part is? He absolutely loved it, okay? He fell in love with the game, the characters, everything. He even had Japanese
What's it like
players
playing
seeing
on a
some of the
free account for
reactions from
this?
Western players thinking, wow, we gotta up our game because these guys are way more passionate than us. Look at this.
Come on, Gold Ship, put it into high gear.
Okay.
I need all you got right now. The Kentucky Derby's on the line. Come on!
It was, with no exaggeration, taking over the entire internet. And it showed in the stock price of CyberAgent, the parent company of Cygames, with its stock market price going up like crazy. But why is that? How is this game such a success, so highly rated, both in Japan and overseas? We've established that the gameplay loop is fun, sure, but there are a lot of games like that. This isn't just a game at this point, it's a cultural phenomenon. So what was something that it did that other games weren't even close to achieving? Well, the horses. Alright, so remember how I mentioned that this game's anime was praised for having immense attention to
There's a
detail and
KFC
world
game?
building? Well,
Cool.
the game was very similar in that regard too. Seeing that all these anime horse girls were based on real-life horses,
Didn't one of
Cygames
them
did their
die?
homework and examined every single horse
I think I
and
remember
its
you
very
guys
specific
talking about that.
personality, incorporating all these aspects into their anime character. But that's not all. When it comes to the world of Uma Musume, many things in there were based on real-life locations, like
Okay.
racetracks and areas around it. We're talking anything from train stations to the convenience store where the horse girls buy their carrots. This wasn't just attention to detail, this was making landmarks out of IRL locations and attributing important history to them. Additionally, this world wasn't just made in like one evening. It made sense, and that's because its world building was very well made. Horse girls in this world are seen as a different type of species. They're treated as well as humans, there's no discrimination, and instead they
Okay,
have a
good.
real place in this world. With certain gadgets, for example, made specifically for them. Look at this extremely long phone. It's to accommodate her horse ear and her mouth. I mean, look at this stupid seat right here. It's made specifically for horse girls so that they don't get uncomfortable with their tails. There's even historical landmarks in the anime, like how there are Moai statues on Easter Island with horse girls. They even took famous Japanese horse racing paintings and converted them to accommodate the world. As you can see, these are horse girls racing here. So from a world point of view, this already made sense. The attention to detail was there. And so when it came to the actual personalities of each horse, guys, they couldn't have done a better job. For example, one of the most famous horses in Japanese racehorsing history is Goldship. This is a horse who ran 28 races and won 13 times. An incredible record. But what really made Goldship famous is that he was an absolute diva with a ridiculously unique and rage-baiting personality. In 2015, Goldship had a total of 12 billion yen betted on him. People were confident that he would win just like he won his other races. What we got instead was the day known as the 12 billion yen incident, when he would do this. Watch. He would simply refuse to race. Everyone would go except him. He didn't care. He just didn't feel like it, and so he didn't race, losing people 12 billion yen in bets. Now, this is how Goldship would look in the game and in general in the Uma Musume universe. They
I've
would
seen her.
recreate the same incident in the anime series. Watch. And just so you know, they brought back the same exact woman who was casting that day to voice in the anime. Guys,
Really?
the attention to detail is ridiculous. So seeing that
I'm watching the
Goldchip was
anime.
an absolute diva, yet at the same time very skilled, Cygames made sure to incorporate that into Uma Musume Pretty Derby. She'd be very skilled, very talented, and yet would have crazy mood swings, refusing to train, and sometimes, even though having the best stats, would just refuse to race. Like, they're not giving a single
Damn.
shit. This eccentric personality would so accurately be translated into the game that it would create a new overseas fan club for this IRL horse. I mean, look at this. This is a video of Goldchip in retirement, literally just hanging out. It has over 2.2 million views. This is just a horse hanging out for 2 minutes, not doing anything except fooling around. That's how much of a sensation he became because of this game and his history. I mean, look, most people would have just stopped there and moved on to a different topic, but not with me, you won't. Goldchip's personality wouldn't just end with him being a diva. He would also be one of the most successful breeders, with a successful mating rate of 99.1%, having over 500 children, with a few of them becoming absolute champions. In fact,
Damn, his child support's gotta be high.
according to some staff, after he would finish mating with a mare, she would then refuse to mate with anyone else but Goldchip. That's just how good he
Damn, his dick's also gotta be great.
is, man. But I guess it also explains why he enjoyed it so much. He would swing his cucumber from side to side because of how excited he was, okay? I know this is like a ridiculous amount of detail, but people look into this. That's how obsessed they are with Goldchip. This isn't just because he was skilled or a massive diva, he was a rage baiter. Like the whole 12 billion yen incident, but also the fact that his trainers realized that, wait a second, in his retirement, he's running even faster than he used to run back when he was still a racehorse, making them realize that he never used his full potential while being a racehorse, almost as if on purpose to spite his trainers. This made people
funny.
realize that horses aren't just creatures that we share a special connection with. They also have many unique and diverse personalities. Most people have a hard time seeing that though, because we don't really interact with horses that much anymore. So turning them into anime horse girls with proper world building around them made us finally appreciate their very deep and valuable personalities. And no one received more appreciation than the horse Haru Urara. You see, when she was young, she would go
Oh, is that the horse you
unsold
just-
at an auction. Seeing that no one
This
wanted
is the
to
one
buy
you were
her, she
talking
was
about.
entrusted to the cheapest racecourse to run in Japan. Her trainers thought that this would be a good chance for her to maybe win since she had a hard time training. But then she went on to lose 113 races in a row, never winning once. However, when she had lost her 87th race in a row, the race announcer, Koji Hashiguchi, would be absolutely shocked at this statistic. He was like, dude, this like never happens. Most horses would have given up by now. They would have retired. So he sent her racing record to national media outlets thinking, dude, this is insane. Like, you got to talk about this. And they did, which made her ridiculously famous. People started going in droves to where she raced,
Oh, was that
the
her?
Kochi racecourse. The wives of the jockeys, the people who rode the horses, took advantage of this and started making merchandise. And get this, at a certain point, people would go to this racecourse just to bet on Haru Urara, knowing very well that they were going to lose, but they would love that because then they'd use that betting ticket as a protective charm for car accidents. They
Really?
believed that it held special powers, bro. You understand what I'm talking about here? This horse had superstitions made
you not
around
bet
it.
that they
I mean,
lose?
this was such a big
You only
boom
bet that they
Haru
win.
Urara had single-handedly saved the Kochi racecourse from going bankrupt. They were able to pay off all their debts thanks to her. And today, as
Welcome
you can
back.
see, Haru Urara is
We're learning
painted
about
on the
horse
side here.
girls.
That's how much of a legend she is. Seeing that she's in the game of Uma Musume Pretty Derby, this prompted both Japanese and global players to select her to try and give her the win that she so very deserved in real life, making her one of the most popular characters in the game. This renewed attention from the global audience with their love for Haru Urara eventually allowed them to find out that they can send gifts to her in her retirement because she's still alive. They could send her some premium
not
ryegrass
anymore.
directly. They sent 2.7 tons of ryegrass. Usually one person could buy $40 worth, which is 5 kilograms. But people crashed the donation website, and now we're sitting at 2.7 tons. This is an image of this little cutie receiving her gifts, and it's prompted people to draw fan art of this phenomenon. I mean, look at how much ryegrass is in front of her. She has enough food until the end
What?
times. 2.7 tons? You're insane!
Also, why did that
In
not just
fact,
work?
thanks
Fuck.
to this game and its renewed attention on these horses and their accomplishments, many of them who are now in retirement are receiving many donations, able to fully enjoy their older years. This is because this game didn't just make a lot of money and renew interest in horse racing, but it has single-handedly revitalized the entire horse racing industry globally, specifically in Japan.
See, the thing is, only Japan could have done this. If you had had an American or British company try this out, no way in fucking hell. No way in hell. Because for one, horse racing is seen as kind of posh.
Racehorses are not able to retire.
Horse
this
racing,
can happen for a number of reasons, but usually it's because there's not enough funding. Back when this game released in Japan, it fueled a movement of people donating to many of these famous retired horses, ensuring that they not only live a good life, but that they can continue to live in general. But retirement isn't fun if you just have money. It's also nice when you meet people, when you still interact socially. Many of these retired racehorses started receiving visitors, so much so that Uma Musume had to release an official guideline on how to visit stables and what to do in order to be respectful. For famous horses such as Haru Urara or Goldship, visits sell out immediately as soon as they're posted. This has led some crazy, ridiculous fans to sneak onto the stable grounds sometimes just to see the horses, with Cygames completely denouncing that and saying you shouldn't do that, stop. But that wasn't all. Cygames was making a lot of money from this game, and they understood that there's a mutual benefit here. If horse racing thrives, they thrive too. And so the president of Cyber Agent, Susumu Fujita, has become a high roller when it comes to buying expensive horses and raising them for races.
Okay, can I just say though, like, this whole thing is interesting, yes. Starting it off with a scientist who, like, experimented on babies, baller fucking move.
Always being one of the leading buyers when it comes to horse auctions in Japan. So far, he has spent easily over $10 million making up his own fleet of racehorses, and he's not planning on stopping anytime soon. But this isn't just about Japan, this is about horse racing globally. In May of this year, they had announced a partnership with the 151st Kentucky Derby, the most watched and most attended horse race in the United States, taking place since the year 1875. And you had this anime girl horse racing game being their biggest sponsor. This also extends to Paris. As you saw in the intro, they're not just sponsoring the Grand Prix de Paris, but they're the main sponsor. And I mean, look, if you show me an image of horse racing, I probably would think, oh, cool. But if I was a young person and saw a poster like this, I think, whoa, whatever this is, I want this. Where can I get tickets? It's an extremely mutually beneficial partnership. Additionally, racehorsing merchandise has had a boom in Japan ever since the game had come out, truly turning this into an animal idol industry. These dolls, for example, they
I'm gonna watch.
Like
I want to watch the
it's
anime.
actually very hard to get them, especially
and I want
for
to play the
outside of
game.
Asia. Actually, I think they're keychains, but you get the point. Cygames was essentially making.
Should I play
a
the game
lot of money
first
from
or
this,
watch
but
the
they were
anime
using it
first?
for good things, making this industry a better place, helping treat retired horses even better, and in general being a positive force in the community. This reminds me how at some point Hoyoverse, the creators of Genshin Impact, had invested in a nuclear fusion reactor, and in 2024 it became operational. Who would have thought that you spending money on characters in a gacha game was going to end up somehow in a nuclear fusion reactor in Singapore?
Cool.
Overall, this industry is revived. It's back. Audiences now feature women, young people, middle-aged people, demographics that horse racing usually wouldn't be able to reach. This has already been happening in Japan, and I'm sure it'll start happening globally thanks to this game. I can't help but laugh when I say this, but it's true.
I need to do
This
one or the
anime
other,
girl horse
plus-
racing gacha game has somehow been able to single-handedly revive this entire sport while somehow making the world a better place. It's crazy, but it's where we are today. I hope I was able to explain why this game took over the world and why it's continuing to, and I really appreciate you watching until the end. This is a fairly different video from what I usually do on my channel, but hey, I figured it would be fun. Now the sponsor does want me
Anime
to end this
first?
video with a
Okay.
message, so before I'll do that, I'll thank you again, say that I love you, and mwah, see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. As a reminder, you can get 100,000 Servo Lions, premium vehicles, 7 days premium account, and much more if you're a returning player that hasn't played for over 6 months, or if you're a new player in War Thunder. This applies to both PC and
No,
console.
thank you. I don't play that game. I think I'll play the game tomorrow, actually. But I think about it. Now, who can we raid? What are they doing? You know what? Here we go. I know there's not many of us, but we're radar. Awesome. I'm gonna have a go now. I'm gonna go now. Do hope everyone enjoyed. Hope everyone had a great time. I will see you guys later. Bye.